And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got a few California races still raging on. We have the gubernatorial election, we got the mayoral election, and a few more things in California. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Karmelo Anthony. Oh, y'all mad about that? It's fine. Y'all were mad last year too. Y'all gonna get over it. The same as you did last year. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, way more problems, way more trouble, way more issues with these driverless so-called AI vehicles. What that mean? Another Indian? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, DC Beautification is looking fabulous. It's looking great. The reflecting pool is reflecting. Things are going the way they're supposed to. These projects are typical. They're usual with administrations to clean things up. But of course, some people don't like when things are cleaned up. They don't like beautiful things. They don't like having nice things. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got to talk about some of these. We got some sports going on. World Cup's happening right now. Shout out to the World Cup. I can't say that I'm a big fan of the footy, but shout out to you guys who are big fans of it. We'll talk about issues and whatnot related to that a little bit more a little bit later on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We do have quite a bit going on. The whole Karmelo thing, people are mad about that. That is so funny that people are mad. Because it's like some people, they say, okay, well, you've changed. Well, how long have you been here? A lot of people are new. I said the same thing last year about the same case. I've made several videos, short form, long form, live stream. I said the exact same thing. I've been saying the same thing from the beginning. Since April of 2025, I've been saying the exact same thing. I've been consistent, and I'm consistent with my thoughts on other cases, regardless of the race. When someone says you think that this case is this way because of the race, that lets me know that A, you don't know who I am, or B, you just retarded, or a combination of both. Because if you know me, you know I'm going to call it even across the board. I'm going to just call balls and strikes. It don't really matter who's swinging the bat or who's throwing the ball. I'm going to call balls and strikes just the way I see it. I'm going to call it the way I see it. And I'm going to always say a thing that I've been told my whole life since I've been old enough to remember, that you don't put your hands on people, period. If you put your hands on somebody, I was always told, now look, I want you guys to let me know what you were told, because I think at a certain point, the discrepancy here comes to upbringing. And I have had a great upbringing. Okay, I had both of my parents, although they got divorced. My dad was always in my life. My mom was always here. They instilled into me every single day. And not just them, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, anybody, everybody, dozens, if not hundreds of people poured into me as a child, and they taught me the proper way to behave. This is why I come from the hood, never been arrested, never had any kind of problems with the police. I'm doing well in my life. I have an amazing life. I have a great life. I'm happy. It's because of my upbringing. And part of my upbringing said, if you put your hands on somebody, be ready for whatever they got coming next. Don't put your hands on someone unless they put their hands on you. And sometimes when they put their hands on you, give them a little bit of grace, because, you know, me being a big person, like how I've been for a long time, I'm over 6 foot and I'm over 200 pounds right now. I've been the same size since age 14. Since I was 14 years old, I've been the same size. I could beat most adult men when I was 14. If you're just a regular Joe on the street, not trained, not a trained fighter, or not been to the military, you're just a regular Joe, I could probably handle you when I was 14. Even if you're 35 years old, I could handle you when I was 14. I was strong and I was big. But I never tried to bully people, put my hands on people, stuff like that. That's just not the way that is supposed to be. I was taught against that, to not bully people, to not put your hands on people, to not incite violence. Now, if I do that, then I got to be ready for whatever they got coming for me, whatever. It don't matter what it is, a gun, a knife, a fist, a kick. I might get jumped by 15 people because I was the one who said, you know what I want to do today? You know what I want to do today? What I want to do is put my hands on somebody. That's what I want to do. I would never do that. I would never, ever do that. You're never going to see ABL do something like that. You will only see me put my hands on somebody if I'm in some serious danger. That's it. Now, if I'm in danger, ain't no trying to dictate how I react. That shit done been sailed. Hey, that ship done sailed. The moment you put your hands on me, and I might even give you a break because sometimes y'all retarded. Y'all might do something and I gotta let it go. But if it's a consistent thing, I tell you one time, don't touch me, you touch me. I tell you again and you do it again. Now I got to go ahead and handle you because apparently you're hell-bent on touching me. You're hell-bent on doing something to me that I told you not to do. You're violating me. You're violating my space. You're violating my rights. So now I'm going to go ahead and just deal with it to get it over with. You can't at that point say that I'm the bad guy. You can't at that point claim to be the victim. And you know what? That's typical bully language. That's what they do. Bullies do that. Bullies will pester you, bother you. When you punch them in the face and knock them out, they want to say that you did too much and you went too far. And they want to start crying and call their mama and call the principal and call the police. I've had that happen to me so many times, it's not even funny. So whenever I see it, I instantly recognize it and I hate it. Anybody that's like that is ridiculous. Anybody who agrees with that does not understand how things go. Again, retardation, or I don't want to say that because I don't think anybody that disagrees, I don't think they're all retarded. I think it might just be lacking information because it goes back to my question. How were you raised? Were you raised to have the principles of keep your hands to yourself? That's the number one principle. That's the number one principle. It's like reading the Bible, which you start with Psalms. You starting with the basics. That's the most basic thing. That's like one of the golden rules. Keep your hands to yourself. You learn that when you are in preschool, when you're 2 years old or before that, when you are a baby, an infant. That's one of your first lessons. When you learn how to walk and talk, keep your hands to yourself. Okay, if you do something to somebody, expect that back or more. Expect that back or more. I was never taught, you know what you could do, son? Punch somebody in the face, and they're only allowed to punch you back in the face. They can't take an instrument, hit you with it, a chair, a ruler, a pen, whatever kind of weapon they got. They can't do that, son. They can't do that. That's just never a thing that I've ever heard in my life until I came to the internet. And I think that some of us are raised differently and or we were not given proper parameters as children. We grow up thinking that one thing is right, but something else is right. Then when what I'm saying is proven correct, when you're actually out there in the real world doing these things, then you want to cry victim, but you wouldn't be crying victim if you just understood what it was from the very beginning. Am I preaching or not? And I know I am. And I know the comments are going crazy. I see it, but I'm not trying to be distracted. But that's all I'm saying. Don't put your hands on people. And I don't care what the color is, because some people were talking about, well, it's because he's black. I said the same thing about anybody. I just did a video before that about the boy that got hit by the Chinese store owner. And I'm like, yo, I can't really feel sympathy for you. There shouldn't have been the chase over some water that wasn't stolen, but you went in there playing like you were going to steal it. You heightened intentions. You started the confrontation. Although I think he was wrong to chase, you were wrong for starting the whole situation. Shut the builder. It's the same principle. Don't go playing, starting stuff with people, initiating conflict, trifling with people. If you're just minding your business, you're going about your day, here comes some person all in your space, doing something crazy, trying to play, trying to take from you, trying to do something to you, and then you react. You cannot bear the full responsibility of what you do to that person because you were the one who were trifled with first. You were minding your business. It's not your fault what you do to them afterward. And the person who's doing it to you cannot control how you behave. You can't just run up on somebody, violate their space, and then say, well, you can only react to me in this way. And if you react to me in a different kind of way, then I'm a victim. No. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't mess with people on the streets. Don't harass strangers. Is this a difficult concept to understand? I don't think so. I don't think that it is. I think that anybody with a brain, anybody with common sense knows what I'm talking about. And don't let anybody who want to be big tough guy go to jail. Oh, no, no, no. Hey, in the penitentiary, listen, in the penitentiary, if you don't follow what I'm saying, you're going to get killed instantly and you're going to get killed by your own people. I saw a video. It was a former white supremacist dude, former AB, Aryan Brotherhood dude, talking about, hey, if you're part of the Aryan Brotherhood in the penitentiary and you, as a white guy, an Aryan Brotherhood member, Nazi tattoo, swastika on your chest, if you're that guy and you go to the blacks and start calling them N-words in the penitentiary, your own white people will kill you because you are starting stuff with people unnecessarily. You're picking fights unnecessarily. That's not what they do in prison. It's all about respect. When you violate respect, it don't matter what color you are, you're going to get dealt with. If you're a white person initiating a conflict, disrespecting black people in the penitentiary, your own white supremacists will kill you to keep the peace. That's the way it is in the penitentiary. Now, when you're not in the penitentiary, you don't know what somebody would do. You might be able to bully somebody successfully and have nothing happen. They're gonna just take whatever you're doing. You slap them in the head, you get pushed around, you get dunked in the toilet, dunked in the locker, and they don't do nothing. But somebody might not take that treatment and they might do something to you. But that's when the bullies start crying and calling his mama and calling his daddy and trying to call the cops on you and stuff like that. That's what happens. So I don't approve of that. I don't appreciate that. Anybody that think differently, I don't even really care. It don't matter. I'm gonna feel the same way I feel regardless. I came on YouTube in 2015 with my own opinion, and I'm gonna stay that way. I've been that way over a decade. Ain't never gonna change. But I know, listen, I know the majority of y'all get it. The majority of y'all get it. But every now and again, there's a select group of people who don't get it. And the reason why I'm saying this right now is because some of y'all have never heard the lesson before. You've never been given that instruction before. And I'm here to educate. I'm not here to hate. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to educate. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to read some of the comments. I've been avoiding it because I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to read some of the comments and then I'm going to keep going. Okay. Let me see. R Black Pearl, shout out to you, says, Karmelo friend turned on him and told the truth. Okay. We're just talking. Let me see. Expert court watcher, that's funny. Denisha says he was not even supposed to be at the event when you are suspended from school. We're believing Facebook rumors. Okay, Facebook rumors. Let's not do that. When we're talking about facts of the case, let's stick to the facts of the case rather than what you see on Facebook. I asked people to cite their source on that, and they're giving me AI with Facebook links. That's not a source. Okay, social media rumors. It's not a source. ABL is not a source. I done told y'all. I said it once. I'm gonna say it 1,000 times. But I say, y'all know it by now. I'm a broken record. Don't believe me. Don't believe them. Do your own research. Doing your own research should not stop at, I looked it up on ChatGPT and they gave me 2 Facebook links of a rumor. That's not called research. That's just called you looking for confirmation bias. Nothing against you, Denisha. I'm just saying in general, when people give me these pieces of information, their sources are just social media rumors. Where's your actual real information at? Where is that at? That's what I want to know. Okay. Now, I know you're not on Facebook, but my question is, where'd you get the information? From AI? And what's the AI going to do? Look up on Facebook. Exactly. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm retarded. Y'all give me some better sources of information for what you're saying. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I'm probably right, as I am the majority of the time. NKM, shout out to you. I've been seeing you in the comments, NKM. You be mad too. Let's see what NKM says. NKM says the majority of us get it, in quotes. The ratio is like 80-20 of people who disagree with you on this. I mean, that's from your perspective. That's not correct. That's not really true. Yeah, the dislike ratio on that video was about 80% upvote versus 20% downvote. That's just one video with like no views on it, so it don't even really matter. That's not a good gauge to be able to see who is on the same page with me or not. Zunai Warrior Doll says ABL also overlooking the fact that Karmelo had no business being in the tent. Well, I mean, who gets to say who gets to be in the tent or not? Who's the tent police? Okay, Now, from what I was able to read, Karmelo was in the tent talking to a friend of his. Now, here comes Austin Metcalf and his squad talking about get out of the tent. So who's right and who's wrong? The person that's in the tent already who Karmelo's talking to, or a guy coming to the tent talking about Karmelo shouldn't be there? Who's right and who's wrong? You know what? You know what's the best way to alleviate that, to decide who's right or who's wrong? To go get a coach, go get a teacher. Don't put your hands on me. Hey, you think I'm in the wrong place? All right, go get a coach, go get a teacher, go get someone of higher authority. You see, you're a student, I'm a student. You're an athlete, I'm an athlete. We're on the same page. Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony are not above each other. They're not below each other. They're the same because they're both students. What you got to do, if you want me to do something, you can ask me politely. If I say no, then you got to go above me and get a coach or a teacher or somebody to come be the mediator. What you don't get to do is put your hands on me, and then when something happens to you, you claim to be the victim. That's not the way that works. Okay. Tucker White, I'm a black racist grifter streamer. Okay, but you watching me, and I'll see you at the end of the show, still here enjoying the show, so that's fine. Continue to enjoy watching your black racist grifter streamer. Why didn't Karmelo go get a coach? It's not on him to go get the coach because he's sitting there, he's minding his business. So I'm on the bus, right? I'm sitting down on the bus. Here you come, get out of my seat. What I got to do? I have to get up out of my seat and go get somebody to try and negotiate? No, it's not the way it works. Let's go back to the Frontier Airlines or whatever kind of airlines you fly on example. And I feel like some of these things I'm telling you are pretty much common sense, but not everybody has common sense. I'm here to educate. Let's go back to the Frontier Airlines or whatever airlines you prefer. Delta, Spirit, RIP. You're sitting at 11B. Here comes somebody else. Hey, I'm at 11B. You show the person. Matter of fact, let's start over because I want to say it right. So can nobody get caught up in, the details that don't matter, which I always do. Let's say someone is sitting in your seat. You are sitting at 11B, but as you approach the person on the airplane, somebody's already right in 11B. You tell the person, hey, I think I'm sitting right here at 11B. The person says, no, I'm not. No, you're not. I'm sitting here. You pull out your phone and show your app. Hey, here's my ticket. I'm at 11B. I'm not getting up. What do you do right here? What do you do right here? Do you proceed to punch the person in the face? Do you proceed to unbuckle their seatbelt and yank them out of the seat? Or do you get the stewardess, the flight attendant, somebody like that? Now, if you say that you're going to yank him out of the seat and pull out Austin Metcalf, you're a liar. And if you are going to do that, well, congratulations. You just got put on a no-fly list, and you might much rather get a felony charge of assault, battery, or something like that on the airplane. That's going to be federal. You go into the penitentiary potentially for doing something like that. You can't do that. So why is it any different in the bleachers? What makes Austin Metcalf some sort of authority in this situation? You're at the actual bleachers sitting and talking to somebody. Here comes somebody else saying that you shouldn't be there. What gives him that right? I'm not going nowhere. Go get a teacher and handle it that way. That's the way it works. It's simple. Now, if you decide to put your hands on me and we fight and you get hurt, that's your fault. Now, Michelle says that still doesn't explain anything. Why was he in the wrong tent? Well, what do you mean wrong tent? There was only one tent. From what the reporters say who were in the courtroom, there was only one tent. And the reason why he was there is because, again, number one, it's raining, but number two, he was talking to a friend of his who was already in the tent. So that's why he was there. There's no ownership of the tent. The whole tent thing to me really is a retarded argument to make. It don't matter what was going on. You don't have the authority to put your hands on this man and make him do anything. I don't care what it is or where it is. That's just not the way it goes. And I see some people talking about, a tent's like a locker room. Please shut up. It's on the bleachers. It's like a canopy for cover when it was raining or whatever the case may be. Raining or the sun. It's not like a locked facility. Oh, and then there was a theory that he was going through bags trying to steal. Please stop. He was there talking to his friend. So what, him and his friend were there trying to steal? Okay, why is there no talk about the friend having to get out the tent? Why was it only Karmelo? You see, It's bullying. It's bullying. That's what it was, is bullying. You sitting on the bleachers and then somebody come up to you trying to get you to move. That's called bullying. If you move, now you got punked and you're going to continue to get bullied. If you stand your ground, the bullying is less likely to happen. And sometimes when you stand your ground, you got to fight. Now, the person who starts the fight is the bully trying to get you out of the seat. If the person gets hurt, that's their fault. It's very tragic. It's very tragic, but totally avoidable, which is why I was taught when I was a child, don't put your hands on people. Anybody trying to get around that fact is not living in reality. Go out there on the airplane and you got somebody in your seat when you get on the plane. I'm at 11B. No, I'm at 11B. You want to strike this person, try to grab this person, congratulations. No fly list. Federal penitentiary, Big Rocks, Little Rocks. Congratulations. Nobody watching this chat would do that on the airplane. So why are you going to do it on the football field? How is it different? Because the penalties are a lot stiffer. Oh, okay. Well, the penalty was pretty stiff here too, wasn't it? I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just saying, I'm being serious. And that's why you shouldn't do stuff like that. But people don't get it. They don't get it until something like this happens. They feel justified. They feel like they're righteous in their indignation, but you're not. You don't get to put your hands on people and have nothing happen or dictate the outcome. The best way, listen, I'm from the hood, all black areas. I've never been in trouble at all because I follow these principles since I've been a child, and they've not failed me yet. They've not failed me yet. Okay. A poll. So what would the poll be? I don't care about the poll results because people are going to have their view. People are in here. It's going to be a skewed poll because I just put the video out and I saw some of y'all commenting on my Instagram live video about Karmelo when that wasn't even really the topic. You coming from the other video expressing your frustration on this one, so I'll be able to see it when there's fewer comments. And you could do the same thing here. So that's not really going to be productive. I said what I said. J Balu says, Marshmallow can't fight with fists. Well, I don't want to fight. How about that? I don't want to fight. Check it out. One of y'all touch me in the streets. I don't want to fight. And my life is in danger. So what's up? Don't put your hands on me. I don't want to fight. You can't make me do something I don't want to do. You can't attack somebody and dictate the outcome. That's not the way that works, bro. It don't work like that. It's not the way it works. You know what? You know what's the best way to avoid anything like that? Keep your hands to yourself. Don't bother people. Don't harass people. You got a problem with somebody or somebody doing? Go get the authorities. You want to be Billy Badass and try to fight somebody? Oh, okay. Well, guess what? Everybody don't fight like you. And you might actually get overpowered in the fist fight and get beat up real bad to the point where you get permanently injured or you die. There was a situation out where I'm from in Virginia where it was a fist fight in the bar. Guy gets hit one time in the jaw, falls on the ground, and he dies. One time, and the guy went to prison for that. One punch can kill you. So, again, the best way to avoid it, keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch people. Don't harass people. I don't understand why that's such a difficult concept to understand. It's pretty simple. Okay, now, J Balu says life is not in danger according to court testimony. That's your opinion. But we're going to get an actual decision from the jury, which may differ from your opinion. You see, if you were on the jury, you might think one way, but someone else may think a different way. And this is why they go through a vetting process to see who should be on the jury or not. Some are saying that, the fact that is no blacks on the jury is a problem. I don't know. It could be. I don't think that it will. I think that the main thing would be, will the jury be able to make a sound and rational decision based on the evidence and not their emotion, not how they feel about the case, not the visceral thing. If you say stuff like he got stabbed in the heart, you putting your feelings into it. So maybe those who are on the jury will not make an impassioned emotional decision, and they'll make one based on what the evidence says. The evidence and the law specifically, the law in Texas specifically says you're allowed to use deadly force in self-defense if you believe or you have a reasonable belief that you are at great risk of death or serious bodily injury. So the defense is going to say, hey, my client, Karmelo Anthony, 17 years old, 5'9", 130 pounds, was being approached by these two big football players, 6 foot tall, 225 pounds, and two other friends. Plus there were more friends who were following them but didn't come to the actual tent right at that moment. So he thought, I'm about to get jumped. Then the person puts his hands on them once, then does it again after being warned not to. That's going to be the defense. So all the extra stuff, all the things around it don't really matter. We're going to get down to what the law says. And this is the same thing with Rick Chow, is what the law says. See, I don't get involved in the feelings and picking sides and black or white. Let's look at what the law says. We ain't going to do no squabbling. We ain't going to do no arguing. We're going to go to court and then see what's what. We're going to exercise our rights and we're going to utilize the system. And if Karmelo Anthony is one who comes out on top, then so be it. If he's not, then so be it. We live with it. And then if we think that the court system is not doing well for us, we have the power to vote to put those in there who will make it be what we want. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it works. So we can't get mad at what the law says. We can't get mad at that. Just like Chuck the Builder. Chuck the Builder trying to claim self-defense. You cannot, because you're the one who initiated the contact, initiated the conflict. You are an instigator in general. That's what he was. Chuck the Builder and Austin Metcalf are the same. Not as far as what they say. The words they say are irrelevant. It's not about the N-word. It's not about that. I couldn't care less about that. It's about you're instigating confrontation. You're initiating fights. And then want to say that you're the victim afterwards. That's not the way it works. But that's a classic bully for you. That's a classic bully. And I hate that. I hate bullies. I hate people that bully people. I don't care what color they are. I hate it. And anybody want to defend them, I can't do nothing with you. So it is what it is. You mad? Oh, well. You mad? Oh, well. And you know what? If you don't like it, it's fine. But people still watching, so it don't make a difference. Karmelo did not instigate anything, Gam, because if you're sitting there minding your business and somebody approaches you, how is that considered to be instigating? That's called victimizing yourself as the bully. You sitting there minding your business, right? You in the tent, chilling, talking, chatting it up. Bop, 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 bop. Get out of my seat. Hey, man, don't touch me. I ain't going nowhere. Don't touch me. Get out of my seat. Don't touch me. Stab. Oh, he's a victim. No, he's not. No, he's not. That's not the way that works. Y'all gonna see in court, though. Don't worry about it. I said the same thing last year. And I don't care what color it was. I couldn't care less. He could be a green space alien. I don't care. If Karmelo was black, white, Puerto Rican, and candy stripe, I would defend him the same because I don't like bullies of any color. Period. Period, point blank. I don't like it. I detest them with all my heart and soul. I really do. Because you're picking on a weaker person. Or you think they're weaker. You're trying to assert your dominance, your masculinity, your importance. You're trying to boost your own self-esteem by attacking this weaker person. It's like guys that beat on women. It's the same kind of thing. You know, anybody, or if you abuse children, you're in that same kind of ballpark. Pick up somebody your own size. How about that? Hey, if you get locked up, Chuck the Builder, you're going to have plenty of time in there to try and make a black person jump out, right? So go talk to them in the penitentiary about that stuff. And then try to say, oh, I'm a victim and I got bear spray. Nah, you're going to get folded right on up like a sheet of paper. Like, shh. Because in there, they don't play the disrespect stuff. Respect people and keep your hands to yourself. Now, the knife. Let's talk about a knife. Now, look. This is a pocket knife. This is a pretty big one. It's probably about a 5, probably about a 4-inch blade, probably about a 4.5-inch blade. It's a pocket knife, though. This is small. Okay. Here's my hand. Here's the knife. This is a small knife. Okay. I always have pocket knives on me. I got one right here on my desk. This is my favorite little one right here. I have a collection of pocket knives, and I keep one in my truck. In my truck, I keep a pocket knife, like a fingernail clipper, and gloves, like heavy duty gloves for whatever I need. And I keep other stuff. I keep a ratchet strap, a corded drill with bits on it so I can get my lug nuts off real quick from on the side of the road. If I'm on the side of the road and I got a flat, I can plug in my corded drill to my truck in the 120 volt and go ahead. I don't got to worry about charging the battery or nothing like that because I already got the power from the outlets. So I keep a few things in my truck to be ready, and one of them is a pocket knife. All the time. You never know if you gotta cut something open. Okay, you get something from a store, it has these little straps. You gotta cut stuff. You know, that's a basic knife I always have on me. I don't consider it to be a weapon. It can be a weapon, but it's not really. It's a pocket knife. This little $20 gas station, you know what I'm saying? That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. And they said it was a multi-tool with a 3.5-inch blade, which is shorter than this. It's probably about a 4 right here. It's probably about a 4 right there. Maybe 5. It's pretty big, as you can see. Okay. But it's a standard gas station pocket knife. That's not, if you got that in your pocket, you're not trying to go hurt somebody. You're trying to like open up an Amazon box. That's not really nothing. That's nothing. Okay. Phoenix says, ABL no needs to carry a knife if you take the time. That's this ain't no self-defense. This is just a pocket knife. This is just, if you think this is to be carried to hurt somebody, I got the gun to hurt somebody. I got that for that, allegedly. You know, again, all my guns plunged to the bottom of the river. When I had my guns, that was for protection, not a pocket knife. You know, that's like a box cutter. I got a knife. I'm about to go tear up my carpet in my front bedroom and put some hardwood down. I use it for that, not to go try to attack people. But see, if you are in danger and you're about to get jumped, if you think you're about to get jumped, if that's the case, which they're going to say in court, or they're going to try to prove it in court, then you might reach for a thing like this because you don't have nothing else on you. Now, if you were in the streets, it might be time for that gun to come out. See how that works? But you're not in a space where you're thinking about that. You just got a little pocket knife. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. But shout out to everybody who's been watching the whole time and then say you unsubscribe. I appreciate it. And that's love. Keep on watching. Now, witnesses are going to say what they're going to say, but that's just what they say. Witnesses are going to say things, and I played the video where I showed witness testimony, witness statements. They're going to say things, but it's all about how you interpret it, because some people are going to say that when he says, touch me and find out, that's called provocation. That's what you think. That's not what that means. What it means, if you understand any kind of cultural relevance, cultural phrases, is don't touch me because I have something in my pocket, in my bag or whatever. Don't touch me. He touches them. One more warning. Don't do it. He does it again. Why do you keep touching me? Why do you keep invading my space? Who do you think you are? Leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered. Then something happens. Now he's a victim. That's not the way that works. Okay, culture isn't the law. Well, the law says if you feel like you are in imminent danger of death or serious bodily harm, you have the right to self-defense. And the whole knife thing won't even matter. I mean, maybe they're going to get him for the knife, but having a 3.5-inch blade on school grounds is not a crime. It is prohibited by school rules, but not a crime. It's different. A crime is a thing you go get prosecuted for by your local authorities. When you go to jail, get booked and stuff like that, that's called a crime. When you're talking about a rule in school, you're not going to go in front of a police department. You're not going to a police station. You're going to get written up for the rule. If I break a school rule of having, let's say, a cell phone in class and I'm texting, am I going to go to jail for that? No. A 3.5-inch blade is street legal in Texas. You are allowed to carry a blade like this under 5 inches. Matter of fact, it's probably right at 5. It's probably right at 5 right here. I'm able to carry this in Texas legally. That's much bigger than the one that Karmelo had. If you break it into the school ground, you're breaking the school rule, but you're not violating the law. That's two different things. But, we're going to see once the whole court process plays out. We're going to see. Okay, witnesses do matter. Okay, that's fine. The crime is murder. We're going to see. 5 inches, stop lying. I'm telling the truth. Okay. You want to know 3.5? It can. Anything could be deadly, J Balu. Anything could be deadly. Again, you could punch somebody in the face one time and kill them. I've seen it happen. You can punch somebody in the face one time. You don't got to puncture their body or nothing like that. It just so happened to hit them at the perfect angle. It don't take much. Like, we're very fragile people. We're very fragile people. People don't realize it. You really don't know how fragile you are. We're durable, resilient, but also very fragile. Life is fragile. And again, if we just follow the principle of keeping your hands to yourself, then there wouldn't be any issues. No issues. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, one stab. It just took one stab. That's it. It wasn't like he went crazy on him, just one stab. That's, I saw there was an incident on the MARTA train in Atlanta recently. Somebody got shot, I think at least twice. Excuse me. They got shot twice, were bleeding everywhere, and they didn't die. But Austin Metcalf gets stabbed one time with a 3.5-inch blade and dies. Life is crazy like that. 50 Cent got shot how many times? 8, 9 times, whatever it is, and didn't die. So, hey, life is crazy like that sometimes. Sometimes you see somebody get decimated with bullets and they survive. Somebody get punched in the face one time and they get stabbed one time and they die. It's unfortunate. What you mean? Somebody says, will I accept the guilty verdict? What does that mean? Give me the thought process behind your statement. Whatever the verdict is whatever it is. What am I going to do? If it's not, if the verdict is not what I want, what am I going to do? You think I'm going to go down and protest? Or you think I'm going to go tear stuff up like it did in BLM for what? Why would I do that? That's retarded. Yeah, nah. You have your opinion. You got the right to say what you want to say. But I'm not going to get stupid and go out there and do stuff for what? That's retarded. All right. Now I'm reading some more. I'm reading some of the comments, and then I'm gonna move forward. I will move forward. I know everybody's not really interested in this, but you got some of your loud people that want to talk. So I'll address this and I'll move on. Okay. Thank you, Gam. I'm not wrong. Hey, Gam. If anybody really knows, I'm right about the whole situation. I'm right. I'm right. The golden rule should be applied here. Don't put your hands on people. Don't do that. Okay, hold on. I'm reading some of the other comments. Trey says, I admit I do not know this story. Most people don't, and that's okay. That's why I'm here. That's my purpose in this moment, for now, at least. Okay. XYZ says, all evidence points to him being a murderer. So you want to say defending. You said depending. So you are defending murderers these days, huh? Just because he's black, you're retarded. But you have your own opinion, and it's okay. My opinion, hey, you have your opinion. My opinion about you is that you're retarded. And I think that it's kind of important to understand that about some people. You're talking to people in the streets, and they're not making any sense, or they say things that it just don't really, everybody's not really on the same page. Go inside their house, you got active roaches, you got a pigsty, somebody in their chair, 500 pounds. You never know what people got going on behind the closed doors. You never know. Now, somebody said I should debate liberal. What's my guy's name? Liberal Hive Mind. Is that him? Liberal Hive Mind. Does he show his face on camera or nah? Like, I don't want to talk to people that's faceless. Hey, hold on. Give me a second here. I don't want to talk to people that have their channel like this. When you basically a hoodie with no face on it. Nah, let's show your face, bro. Let's show your face. Let's be real people here and have a real conversation. That's why I like in-person podcasts. I love them so much because you're able to really talk to somebody and get real energy from them. And that's what matters, real energy. That's how you're going to be able to get a really good conversation. And you're able to see as the person watching who you want to follow, whose advice you want to follow, who's making more sense, who has done things that applies to their life and has helped them more than the other person. That's what you want to be able to see when you see a debate. I saw, what's that guy? Do y'all know Andrew Wilson? I saw him debating, what was that, Lauren Southern? That's an old school, that's a throwback name. This dude chain smoking. It's like, man, come on. That ain't, whatever you saying, I'm going to take with a grain of salt because automatically I could see by your manner that you're not somebody that I would want to really look to as a source of information because of what I see before me. Your manner, the way you talk, everything is not really good. It's not really good. Is he a conservative, liberal half mind? Okay. Nah. Okay. Nah. Talking about something you want to talk to himself. Nah. I done already been swatted. Nah. Be a man. Be about it for real. If you really want to be about it and you really want to put yourself out there, you really want to have an opinion, go ahead and go all the way for it. Go ahead and go all the way for it. Nah. Don't hide behind a faceless avatar. Nah. My whole name, my name is my name. I go by my real name. It's my real face. I'm outside. I done met some of y'all outside, no security, by myself. That's the kind of person I am. Now, what I say don't matter, right? But you're going to believe a nameless, faceless person on the internet, whatever they say, okay, 500 miles in their basement covered in Cheeto dust, right? Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. Is he AI? Mr. Rich, you think he's AI? That's what I'm saying. Like, at a certain point, you know what's going to happen? We're going to have non-humans who rule out of this space. We're going to have non-humans who are the ones people look up to. And that's going to be a very scary future. He's got a family. Okay, everybody got family. So what? What that mean? So what? See? Yeah, I don't respect that. I don't want to hear no excuses for somebody going totally faceless. Like, how are you going to debate, bro? I only know who you are. I could be debating a whole cartoon character. I could be debating I could be debating a team of writers. I don't know who I'm debating. I refuse. AI here to replace jobs. Well, I think AI will replace some jobs. I said it before, but I'm gonna say it right now since it got brought up, and we'll get to that a little bit later. I got a couple of AI videos, but I think that AI will replace many jobs, the same as the refrigerator replaced many jobs. No more need for the iceman or the milkman or the bread man. Go to the grocery store, go to the market, get your stuff, put it right in the fridge, and you good. You straight. You got your vehicle, go to the market, go to the grocery store, put everything in the fridge. Technology has always cost us jobs, but technology has also given us many more jobs. We are richer today than we were back in the year 1926, 100 years ago. The president back then could not live as rich as a common man today because of the advancements in technology. Now, that's going to be a double-edged sword because we got a very low birth rate as a result of all the advancements, because why have children when you have all this advanced technology? You have no need for that. When you could just do nothing to get paid money for it. What's the point in really doing anything, being ambitious? You could just pretty much sit on your hind parts, get paid, and that's it. So it's pros and cons to it. But when you're talking about the quality of life and whatnot, it's most certainly improved. It's most certainly less grinding, and it's a lot easier to live life than it was 100 years ago because of the advancements in technology. But it's a double-edged sword, though. It really is. I think when AI really gets to its zenith, we'll be able to use it for our betterment. But I don't know if that'll last for forever. But what will last for forever? Nothing lasts for forever. It's always going to be change. Always. All right. David says liberal half mind will probably agree with 95% of your other takes, ABL. not just this one, maybe another. Okay, it's fine. But like I said, we're talking about having a debate. That's something different. If you want to have a debate on this, I'm not trying to debate a faceless person. Give me a real person to debate in person. I don't really want to do online debates, quite frankly. I rather would do all my podcasts and all my debates in person. That's the best way. And then we're going to be able to see who has better idea, who's able to stand up to criticism, who's going to be able to rise to the occasion, who's going to be nervous, who's going to be able to come and, perform well when the lights are on and when all eyes are on you. That's important. Okay, hold on. I'm reading some of the comments and then I keep moving. All right, Phoenix. I mean, we ain't gonna talk about the same thing all night though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna talk about Karmelo Anthony for 3 hours. I'm good. So you're changing the subject. Yes, I am changing the subject because I'm gonna talk about the same thing for the whole 3 hours. We about to get into videos and everything else. It's not gonna be about one person. If you want that, then I don't know. Go to Liberal Half Mind, find that. Carolyn says, I listen to a variety of channels. You'd be surprised who resonates with you and who doesn't. Choices of what life is about. That's right. That's right. Hey, you know what? I don't really get surprised too much anymore about people who watch me because when I was younger, I got surprised because I didn't know. But now I've heard from a lot of you guys. I met you guys in person. You guys are all walks of life, all over the world, different languages, different cultures, religions. You guys are many. It's not just one. Some people think when they see my channel, because of how I dress and how I talk, they think, oh, you're just trying to appeal to one specific person, some white guy in Idaho. I don't know what they think, but it's not quite that way. It's everybody. It's white, black, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. It's people that speak English, people that don't speak English, people that are all over the world. You can never really guess what countries listen to me. It's everywhere. It's Africans, Europeans, Asians, people in South America, everywhere, the whole world. What I don't have yet is any aliens, as far as I know. Maybe some of y'all are watching on the low, lurking. And I don't have anybody in Antarctica, as far as I know. Maybe one of you guys in the scientific stations out there might watch ABL. But beyond that, I have the entire world. Okay. You know what, Ryan? That'd be a good thing. We should come together as one. That'd be great. That'd be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Okay. And what else we got? The California races, off and running. DC Beautification. Hey, listen, the reflecting pool is reflecting. It looks beautiful. The problem with the other pool we see in a minute, it had a bunch of algae in it. Like Obama had it redesigned when he was, or renovated, pardon me. He had it renovated when he was in office. It spent like $30-something million. And, excuse me, the way they did it made all the algae and whatnot appear on it. And the algae looks like clumps of human waste. It looks disgusting. It looks like a sewer and smells like something similar to that too. So it was a mess. When people would come here from other parts of the world, other parts of the country, and they go down to the reflecting pool and they see a disgusting mess, it's not a good look. Malcolm X Park, same thing. No water flowing. Let's get the beauty back in DC. Now, some say that's going to be a distraction away from what's happening with the economy and stuff like that. But all presidents have done things like this. Again, Obama did it during his time. Didn't he put a basketball court in the White House too? So him and his body man could go out there and play basketball. Hey, you know what? People talking about, is the country ready for a gay president? I think we've already had one. Okay. When you got a body man, does Trump have a body man? Is there a guy that's always like his road dog? You had your dark-skinned boyfriend, the body man, Reggie. You had him. And then once you left the White House, Mr. Obama, you and your wife brought the chef from the White House to live with y'all, Martha's Vineyard. And then he dies mysteriously in a drowning incident right on the property. Oh, okay. Whatever. Anyway, I think we've already had a gay president before. I think so. I'm not really too convinced that we've not. And if that's the case, it's okay, man. Everybody live their life. My only thing is when people lie and they, just live different lives and they're not really authentic. That's my only thing. But hey, Mr. Obama and everybody else, man, live your truth. Live your truth, bro. Whatever it is, just live that. It's okay. All right. And let me keep on rocking and rolling here. But yeah, and like I said, with Obama and the basketball court, you put a whole basketball court in the White House, and how much did that cost? So him and his body man could go down there and play basketball in the middle of the night. No shirts on. I'm good. But Trump says, hey, let's go ahead and build a ballroom for security purposes, to have events, because most developed places in the world, when you go to the presidential palace or whatever it is, there's a ballroom to have events rather than being outside in the tent. Okay, I'm not trying to get beat by mosquitoes. I'm not trying to have some lunatic in DC screaming and I can hear it through the tent. I don't want to hear that. Let's have a real ballroom, nice and safe, secure, great grounds, bathrooms, bunker, the whole 9 yards. That's what I want for the White House. But they want to get in the way of that. But the basketball court, that's totally fine. There was at one point a swimming pool in the White House. I forget who added that. But that right now is the White House press briefing room, which is where they also are doing construction on the ballroom. So a pool, a basketball court, cool. A failed reflecting pool renovation, $30 million, great. A ballroom, we don't need that. To fix a reflecting pool that was messed up under Obama, we don't really need that. Okay, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Yeah, that's right. As loving basketball, that's Barack Obama and his body man for sure. All right, and then what else we got going on here? So that's pretty much. Oh, and the WAYMO. We'll talk about that in a minute. But these WAYMOs, hey, if y'all like WAYMOs, it's fine. If you like driverless taxis, it's okay. But I'm not really ready for it. I want to keep my internal combustion engine vehicle. First of all, I'm not really a big EV fan. If EVs were able to charge instantly and the batteries were not ticking time bombs, then maybe. But it takes you forever to charge one. The range is limited. If you don't have a house with a garage, you're pretty much out back unless you live in an area where you have access to a charging station at night. But let's say everyone in your area is buying an EV, i.e. California. Everyone has EVs in California, but not everyone has a house with a garage to be able to charge it. People live in apartments, and in the apartment, it might be an attached garage if you're lucky. And in the garage, there could be a select few of these charging stations, but how many will there be? Not enough for the entire complex. So now you're going from place to place. You're going to random Burlington coat factories. You're going to Macy's. You're going to these random Buc-ee's, wherever you can find it to try and charge a vehicle. And you could be outside at night. It could be dangerous. I'm good. Hey, let me go ahead and get 5 on pump 3 right quick. I filled my truck up. Yes, it cost me $1,000 for one tank in my F-150, but it's okay because it took me 5 minutes rather than 45 minutes of charging at a station that I might not be able to find when I'm going to find it. So the time thing for me is an issue. But again, if they can fix that and make it be, charged in 0 seconds, like if I could just go outside and there's a little solar device that can capture it, like ding, and then it charges right away, I'm good. I'm great. Or if it could just charge as you driving with solar, that'd be good. So I don't really got to try to, it's always at a certain level. Like I had a power bank like that. I think I still got the power bank where the power bank, you could charge it with your USB. It'll take a certain amount of time, but it can also charge through USB. I mean, through the solar panel. Solar panel on top with a USB charge. So when USB is unavailable or in conjunction with it, it'll charge. If you get something like that, then maybe it'll make sense. But right now, the technology is not really there. All right. Hey, back in the day, they had horses and buggies. That's right. Horse and buggy. Like we've changed quite a bit since like the 1800s, early 1900s. We've changed quite a bit. But think about like in the year 1850, what was the available way to go from point A to point B? Okay, a lot of times you're going to be walking. You might get a donkey, you might get a horse. Maybe you might get a buggy on a horse, maybe, like the Amish do. And even the Amish, they got some technology, little modern technology. They got their little buggies. But I seen an Amish dude with 212s in his carriage with the horse. And like, okay, so you got a little bit of modern technology. They're going to put them little Best Buy CD changers in their buggies at a certain point as well. They're a little bit behind, but it's all good. They're still doing their thing. But if you want to go back to that, you can. You could go back to horse and buggy. You could go back to not having the modern amenities we have right now. But I think the majority of us rather have what we have right now rather than going back in the day. They don't really want that. But yeah, shout out to the gas vehicles. Well, that's right, Dan Thomas. Need 250 amps. Service cost 25,000. Yeah, it's rough. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then also, once everybody has an electric vehicle, if we still got to charge these things to these ports, to these charging stations, it's going to be a big drain on the energy grid. It's going to be a huge drain on the grid. And you might mess around to get rolling blackouts, brownouts, you know, significant and consistent regular power outages. So now we're starting to lose our civilization because civilization is built on having consistent power. At least modern civilization is built on having consistent power. If you don't have consistent power, you're pretty much Lagos, Nigeria. Shout out to my Nigerians watching, but y'all know how it is. Hey, you working on the project? Oh, the lights have failed me. The lights are gone. What am I going to do now? My project is finished. I could not get to the project in time. You call on your client. Hello, I'm sorry, madam. My lights, my energy went out. We don't have any more here. I cannot give you the project today. I cannot. I'm done. I'm finished. I don't want to do with stuff like that. I want to have lights that work 99.9% of the time. A brief outage, okay. But if it's 12 p.m. on a Tuesday and then the lights are out until the next day at 8 a.m., I can't get jiggy with that. I got food in the fridge. I got things I got to do. I'm trying to go to Chipotle, get a big bowl. Chipotle and closed down. All their food done gone bad. You got to have consistent power with civilization. But when you just trying to grab at it with these tools that are not ready to be used on the mass scale, there's going to be problems. Yeah, the batteries, the whole, it's the environment thing is BS. Oh, my environment, windmill, same thing. It's the environment, ABL. We got to protect the environment. We need more windmills. All right, them windmills big as a football field. The blades are as big as a football field out in the ocean. And when they break in 15 years, which is the lifespan, 20 years tops, when they break, they don't biodegrade. They just sit raw on the floor. Right on the ground. Big landfill. Big as a football field, one blade. Out of 3 blades. And you got a whole sea of those. They're disrupting the patterns of the whales out there, causing harm to the wildlife. And they are non-biodegradable. They clog up they clog up land space when they deteriorate and can no longer be used. They can't really be broken down and recycled. It's a mess. It's a mess. This whole thing about the energy, the Green New Deal, we know that's a scam. Anything that comes from that is a scam. And there's not even really an argument about that. If you enjoy EVs, that's fine. But don't come at me and say, my environment. It's because the environment. No, it's not. You just want an EV because you like it, and it's okay. Teslas, they got some nice little cars. You know, nice little cars, nifty little gadgets, little computers. They look really nice and cute. They do. Shout out to the Tesla owners. Okay, I know some of you guys, the cars are nice. Some years ago, I was in the one where they had with the butterfly doors. This is nice, real nice. Not practical for my needs, but nice. They got the Cybertruck, also not very practical. I actually use my truck. I put stuff in the bed of the truck, like dirty stuff. The Cybertruck, you're talking about the trunk capacity of a Toyota Corolla at best. Maybe I say a Toyota, a a RAV4 or something like that. I can't do nothing with that in the full size truck. If I wanted a RAV4 or a Land Cruiser, I would get it, not a full size F-150 size truck and a cyber truck. That ain't really my thing. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate you rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I spoke on the whole situation with Karmelo earlier, and I'm done with it for now. If you want to hear that for some reason, rewind earlier to the video in the stream, and it'll be there. But I ain't talking about that no more tonight. If you're mad, oh well, be mad. So sad. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Shout out to you guys for being the first sponsor, the best sponsor. Also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will also be in the description box, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY. That letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each long-form video that I produce, I also write an article, and in each article, we got social from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my SNML address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And y'all already know, don't get scammed 2026. It's crazy. Some of y'all are still getting scammed. I've seen some scams happening. Don't do it, because you know, if a person's in the comment section pretending to be me, it's not. Y'all know who it is. It ain't going to be me. All right. Let's move forward. Let's go to LA right quick. Let's go to LA because we got the elections happening. I hope, please, you must elect the right person. Yeah, do not get Karen Bass. Karen Bass, she's running for mayor again, along with Nithya Raman. She's running. And I think Nithya Raman got into the race just to make it harder for Spencer Pratt to go forward. Because the way it works in California, in a primary race, the top two people, the top two vote getters will proceed to the general, right? It doesn't matter what part they're from. So if Nithya Raman is able to get more votes than Spencer Pratt, which is still kind of undecided, you're going to have the same person go forward. You see what I'm saying? If Nithya Raman wins, it doesn't matter because she's already on the city council right now. She's working hand in hand with Karen Bass. If Karen Bass wins, nothing changes. Nithya Raman on the city council still. Karen Bass, the mayor still. Nothing changes. In either situation, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. And you know what could happen? Karen Bass could win the nomination, or Karen Bass could be in the lead and then hand it to Nithya Raman, basically. You know, or like she could win and then resign and then give it to her. You never know. But anyway, shout out to Spencer Pratt. Hope you win, bro. Hope you win, because LA, California, LA in general sucks. California is different. I know a lot of you guys in California, great people, beautiful state. But the leadership, it sucks so bad. And it emanates from Sacramento, of course, the capital, but then San Francisco or San Francisco, and also Los Angeles. That's where it emanates from. LA, man, I hate it real bad. If you like LA, that's fine. But for me, I can't do nothing with it. Okay. Let's go here. So, hold on. This is what I wanted to show first. We got Anna from Young Turks. Not a big fan of hers, but when she's right, she's right. Okay, when she's right, she's right. This is about the homelessness epidemic and how much monies are spent on it.
We spent $13 billion in Los Angeles alone last year to combat homelessness. You want to know where that money went? That money went to these trash nonprofits who have a bunch of executives making $500,000 a year. You're working for a nonprofit dealing with homelessness. That's my money. That's my parents' money. Okay? That is the hardworking people of California paying incredibly high taxes that go to what? So yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And honestly, just experiencing what I've seen on the ground in California has made me question a lot about left-wing ideology. We spent 13.
Right on. Right on. And the money will go nowhere but to the pockets of those who are interested in making the money. It's not about helping anybody homeless. The more you give to these so-called homeless people, the more of it you have, because now there's a bigger incentive to have more of these homeless people. It's all about just trying to get money. Now, this is going to be the Los Angeles District Attorney, Nathan Hochman, inviting leaders to go to MacArthur Park for Labor Day and have a picnic. Now, to all my Angelinos out there, do you want to go to MacArthur Park for a picnic? Let's watch this first. And if you're not familiar with MacArthur Park, I'll show you. I'm going to show you why having a picnic on MacArthur Park may not be the best idea.
Here's my promise. Labor Day this year, 2026, I am going to come with my family and I'm going to have a picnic in MacArthur Park, because MacArthur Park is going to be safe enough to have that picnic. Mr. Staley, I invite you and our DEA and LAPD colleagues, please join myself and my family for a picnic. I invite the mayor, I invite every city council person, every member of the Board of Supervisors to join us here for a picnic on Labor Day, because MacArthur Park will be that safe. Here's my promise.
What do y'all think? Are you going to MacArthur Park for the picnic? Hey, and if you have a picnic, are you going to eat food on the ground with a little, okay, I don't think that a little picnic blanket will be enough to protect your food from the ground, because out there, man, I can only imagine. Hey, ain't enough rain, ain't enough pressure washing, fire, or nothing that to get rid of that contamination out there, in my humble opinion. But let's keep on going here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here is MacArthur Park. All right. And right away, you got a little bit of open drug dealing, crack, meth, heroin, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You see, okay, got a dope feet on the floor. Hey, imagine what that ground is like.
Nodding out, and I think that that's going to be a stain on the Olympics and the World Cup that's coming here, the drug problem.
What we're doing is we're having watch parties and festivals in all of our neighborhoods, over 100 neighborhoods, and the World Cup lasts over 30 days. So here, which we're planning, going back to MacArthur Park, that same situation we were talking about, massive watch party in MacArthur Park.
The volatile sights and sounds of MacArthur Park. We're just walking down the sidewalk can spark tension without warning.
No video, people filming?
Hey, my mind telling me no, but that fatty, that fatty telling me yeah. That's what's going on.
We're leaving.
Walking down the sidewalk can spark tension without warning.
No video, people filming? We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving.
This man in broad daylight beat to the ground. What's known as the fentanyl fold, impossible to miss, with open drug use in plain sight and needles scattered all over.
They ain't never gonna fix the problem, baby.
Yeah. You see them nodding.
Yeah, so that is MacArthur Park. So a picnic, I don't know about that. Okay, that might not be the best place for a picnic. Okay, yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather absolutely not. Okay. Now, meth is bad down south. I mean, yeah, it's meth, but it ain't nothing like that. LA is a whole different. There's nowhere in this country just like LA. There's drugs everywhere. There's drugs in Atlanta. But Atlanta does not look like Los Angeles. No. No. There's danger, there's crime, but LA, that's the creme de la creme of crime. And that's like the epicenter of American stereotypes right there. Okay, let's keep on going here. Now, somebody decided to swim in MacArthur Park. Would you guys swim there? You saw what we just saw, right? It's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of filth, a lot of drugs, a lot of just extra stuff. Can you imagine what's in that water? Can you imagine what's in that water? You can't see it because all you see right now is just the surface. And you might not be able to see it in the water unless you got like straight up big debris. But the microorganisms that live in there, and man, Chernobyl will probably safer than this, but somebody was in there swimming. Check it out.
Bro, I know I'm not seeing this shit, bro. That's someone fucking swimming in fucking MacArthur Park. That's a... Bro, I know.
All right, shout out to the Latina commentator talking about what's happening with the swimming right there in MacArthur Park. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. Yeah, that's not very safe. Not very safe. I ain't even swim, like being from Virginia Beach, I ain't even swim in the beach. When we go to the beach, we don't really swim in the water. We swim in the pool, in the oceanfront hotels, but not in the actual water of the oceanfront. Oh no, I would never. Like Virginia Beach, like if I go to like a tropical island, Bermuda, something like this, Jamaica, okay. That's one thing. Virginia Beach, and shout out to Virginia Beach. I love it, but it's too much traffic. It's too many people out there just doing all kind of stuff. It's just too much. Like if I'm down the beach with people that's not from there, a lot of times they want to go sit up under the pier when it's hot. It's like, don't do that. You don't know who's been up under that pier. Under that pier could be all type of stuff. They come through and clean it, of course, but it could be a fresh needle right up under that pier, poke you right in the hind parts. Now you got a fentanyl overdose, and you want to blame me. It's not my fault. I told you not to go and put it in there. But anyway, the voting. Why does it take so long to count the votes in California? This has been the thing that's been going on for a while. I'm not sure when it started. Maybe it's always been the thing. But the incompetence, in my opinion, is causing the votes take so long to count. The incompetence, corruption, or a combination of both. I don't really know. But let's see what they say about why it takes so long to count votes in California.
They're asking, why is this taking so long? What do you want to say to them?
Well, actually, in truth, we're ahead of the pace that we've been in past elections. The reality is in California, the election laws allow voters the greatest opportunity and options for when and where to cast their ballot.
At LA County's Ballot Processing Center, about 400 employees are working 10 to 12-hour shifts following Tuesday's primary election. Dean Logan is the county's registrar recorder and county clerk.
It's pretty close to nonstop, pretty close to around the clock. Obviously, for transparency purposes, we don't want to be counting ballots in the dark of night.
Californians can vote in person or use drop-off boxes or by mail. Professor Christian Gross is the director of USC's Democracy and Fair Elections Lab. He says a lot of people waited until the last minute to mail their ballots.
The U.S. Postal Service has gotten slower. They have less resources. Mail takes longer than it used to, especially coming from places that are more rural or not in the cities, but even in the cities.
The professor says the process may feel a bit slower this time around because there are so many tight contests like the governor's race and LA mayor, so projections can't be made.
By this weekend and early next week, the bulk of those ballots should be processed and included in the return. Okay, we'll see. We'll see about that. Okay, because I think that was June 4th. So we're now at June 6th. So this weekend is right now as we speak. So let's see. Let's just check back on Wednesday. Give them a little bit of time. Check back on Wednesday and then see if we have an actual a total that we can actually depend on for what the vote is in California. You got the gubernatorial election and the LA mayoral race that are very important. So keep your eyes on that. Let's say by Wednesday. And if we don't have a result by Wednesday, you already know what it is. It's just people talking because they don't have any real
Answer. And somebody asked me about Norfolk. Yes, Virginia Beach is right by Norfolk. It's in the same area. Norfolk is right. It's like right next to Virginia Beach. We call that the 7 city area. Can I show a map right quick? Hold on. Just so we on the same page. Okay. There we go. I love my maps. Can I get a slightly better one? Slightly better. Hold on. Let me just do Hampton Roads, Virginia. That'll do. That will do. Okay, so here's the map. So you got Virginia Beach right there. Right to the left, to the north and west, you have Norfolk. Right there, there's Portsmouth. That's where I grew up most of the time, Portsmouth. And then I moved right across the border, moved on up Chesapeake. Suffolk is right there. I used to live right here in this little triangle. You see Suffolk, Portsmouth, Chesapeake over there, like by Dunedin. Shout out to Dunedin. If you know, you know. And then right there, North Carolina. And then right there, Newport News, Hampton. That's where Allen Iverson is from. I used to live right here too, right at the corner of Jefferson and Mercury by the JRB. And for a little bit of context, you see this area up here, this peninsula area? They had a district that they were trying to redraw that went from up here, like right outside of this little metro area, up there to DC Reagan Airport, which is like 2.5 hours. It was crazy. The gerrymandering was all the way real. Anyway, so speaking about the left coast, this is Bellingham, Washington. Bellingham or Bellingham. I would say Bellingham, Washington. They say this is a very gay place, yet Chick-fil-A is thriving. Remember, there was a whole thing about canceling Chick-fil-A because I don't know what it was, but they were trying to say that Chick-fil-A is anti-gay. But at a certain point, regular, normal people don't buy into these social media narratives. And if they want to go Chick-fil-A, if they enjoy their food, they're going to go there regardless. It don't matter. Check it out.
Bellingham is one of the gayest towns in the entire country, so you would expect a fast food establishment that is famously anti-LGBTQ to be not successful. And Chick-fil-A is proof that all you need to do in order to make people take a cheat day from their morals is provide excellent service, good food, at a good price. The service is so good here that one of the people in charge of the restaurant was walking around asking customers what do they think of a Chick-fil-A being in their town. And the answers he got once again proved my statement. People were wishing that they weren't anti-LGBTQ, but it didn't matter because they were still eating there.
Yeah, so shout out to Chick-fil-A. Shout out to Chick-fil-A. I mean, I've not been there in a while. I've not been in any kind of fast food in a while. No, I'm lying. I went to Whataburger. Oh, did I tell you about Whataburger? That's about Whataburger. Hey, a lot of y'all talking about ABL, go to Whataburger. So I went there. I was at Costco over there by 4-0. And I go to Whataburger on the way back. I get the double hamburger with no cheese, onion rings, and the Fanta. Now, the Fanta, very sweet, too sweet. I don't really do soda like that. But hey, it was a cheat day. Why not? The onion rings were par for the course. Applebee's type onion rings. The hamburger was like Burger King. Burger King. Hey, to all my Whataburgerians. To all my Whataburgerians. The burger was not bad. It wasn't a bad hamburger. It was good. I ate it. I punished it. I definitely did. But really, it's like Burger King. Respectfully. You know what it makes me want to do? What I want to do is go to Burger King and try one of their burgers. I've not been there in many years. The Whopper, though, back in the day, the Whopper was off the hook. Oh, my goodness. Hey, the Whopper was like a breath of fresh air back in the day. That was like, it come in clutch, that smoky flavor. And they kind of reel you in with that smoke they blow outside. It's like, what do I smell with this nose here? Oh, is that? Let me go in there and get one of them. Hey, let me get two of them. When I was under the age of 12, all I would eat is hamburgers. What you want to eat, Anthony? Hamburger, pizza, hot dog. So yeah, I have a partial place in my heart for hamburgers, but Whataburger, Burger King at best, respectfully. It was good, but it wasn't all that. It wasn't all that. Now, if you think BK, Burger King, is trash, when's the last time you've been there? McDonald's the same thing. People say McDonald's sucks. Have you been there recently? They've improved. For fast food, it is what it is. You're not getting the best. You're not getting the top quality cut. You're not going to a gourmet restaurant. You're not going to a Michelin star restaurant. You're going to a fast food restaurant. But for fast food, McDonald's is okay. If you got a good one that's run well, excuse me, if you have one that's run well, it's good. But not all of them are equal. Because I've been in some, hey, I went in one time, it was a roach at the door like it was a butler. Hey, it was a roach at the door like it was it was a roach at the door like it was a butler. Come on in. Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you? That's kind of how it was. Now, other ones, nice and clean. You could tell you got a good manager. You got Rhonda back in the back, making sure that everything is okay, that everybody they don't got a line, and you won't have no problems. But where you got some of these other McDonald's that's not run so well, it gets kind of hairy. Anyway, now speaking about getting hairy, this is going to be on the left coast still. Now we're going to go to Seattle, Washington, and their mayor, Miss Katie Wilson, not doing very good. Speaking about fast food and other kind of establishments, driving away Starbucks. Okay, In-N-Out Burger has now come to Tennessee. We don't have them where I live, though. In-N-Out Burger right now is like Middle Tennessee, Nashville, Franklin, Lebanon, that area. We don't have any on East Tennessee as far as I know. The closest one to me, I looked it up. Closest one to me is in Lebanon, Tennessee, which is far. That's far away. Hey, that's over there close to where Chuck the Builder live, like in the northern part of the Nashville. Like Lebanon is like to the north and east of Nashville, I think, and then Clarksville to the north and west. Anyway, it's far. I'm not going across the Cumberland Plateau and Mount Eagle for a fast food hamburger. If they built one out here, I'll go check it out. Five Guys is, I don't know. Five Guys is cool, but that's like a once in the blue moon kind of thing. I feel like the biggest back of all backs after eating stuff like that. Them fries. Hey, you see the bag, is so much grease on the bag. I'm like, good Lord. If I eat this, man, I'm going to gain 1,000 pounds. Anyway, let's go to Seattle. Katie Wilson. Not having a very good time.
Public safety dominated the conversation, starting with Mayor Wilson's newly proposed sales tax to fund more bus services.
I am all for taxes when the system is working, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get home safely tonight.
Others shared stories of shootings, stabbings, and employees carrying whistles for their safety, as businesses are paying for private security, claiming police never show up.
Because if you spend 10% of your revenue on private security, that's like an extra sales tax.
Do you know that almost 25 employees have had to use that whistle? They're not safe in downtown Seattle.
Some said they feel the candidate they campaigned for has turned their back on them.
You're talking about gun violence, and it's not at the top. We helped you campaign, and you forgot all about us.
Homelessness was another major topic.
When will the power washing stop?
Wilson said a new approach is coming to 12th and Jackson very soon.
Right now, we don't have a lot of options for people, which is part of why it feels like we're just moving people around, because in a sense we are.
But this wasn't just a campaign talking point. It's a promise she's vowed to keep.
We can't just keep moving people from place to place and calling that progress.
Affordability and the future of Seattle's business community also took center stage. While some question how they can afford to stay in their homes, business owners are worried about downtown vacancies and whether companies will continue to invest in Seattle.
When are you going to come with concrete responses to the issues that will solve the problem?
And you know what's funny? I bet that everybody in that audience having a complaint voted for her. Again, that's about Katie Wilson, mayor of Seattle, Washington. I bet they all voted for her, and now they regret their vote. But my question is, will they vote differently the next time, or keep doing the exact same thing they got them in a situation right now? Like, what are they going to do? That's what I want to know. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I'm gonna read some of these comments right quick. I still talking about hamburgers. Hey, I love a good hamburger too. Matter of fact, tomorrow I might have to do it. I did my fast today. It was a good fast. All I had was some mango puree, and the mango puree was good. But tomorrow I might be a bit back for a day, and then go back to my diet on Monday. I know I do my normal diet. That's like salmon, rice, and then I fast. So I might fast again on Monday, but then tomorrow I might be a bit back. So we'll see. We shall see. But there are no In-N-Out burgers out here in East Tennessee. I think they're all in Middle Tennessee as far as the closest ones, because all the Californians living out there in Middle Tennessee. That's why, hey, all them Californians left and came to Tennessee. In-N-Out burgers are okay, go there. Let's move from California and go to a place where it is cheaper and better and, overall more friendly for business to operate. So then here we are. Okay, let's keep on going. Yeah, and the whistles in Seattle did not work. The whistles didn't work. You getting carjacked, whatever. The whistle ain't gonna do nothing for you. You need to have a pistol on you to prevent that from happening. But again, it's Seattle, Washington. I'm not sure if you're able to do that pretty easily. Okay, Kevin, you just had a Whopper with cheese. Look, shout out to you. See that Whopper, and the Whopper is good though. Hey, for you guys who have had both, the Whopper from Burger King and the Whataburger hamburger, which is better, Whataburger or Burger King, as far as like comparing the Whopper to their flagship burger or whatever it is, an equivalent burger, what's the difference? Usually I make my own burgers or go to a mom and pop place. A mom and pop shop for a burger is good. We got a spot called Armando's. It's like the size of a shed, and that thing stay packed. I'm talking about packed. They got a little drive-through. It's almost impossible to get in there. If you got an F-150, good luck. It's going to be like a puzzle. It's going to be like Tetris to get you up out of there. But I'm seeing these big trucks, big dualies and whatnot on that drive-through getting them hamburgers. It's a dude in there with maybe his wife and his son making hamburgers, and they stay packed. Anyway, speaking about packed, we have some truckers at a fuel island. So fuel island, of course, gas station type thing for the truckers. They're trying to just get fuel and be on the road, and they got to get a lot of it, and they don't have a lot of time. Now, you got this guy deciding to do his little Islamic prayer in front of his truck while he's blocking the fuel island from other truckers.
And you got dudes like him on the fuel island. Look what this guy doing on the fuel island. This is shit I be fucking talking about on the fuel island. Look at all these trucks waiting. Look at them trucks behind him waiting. He over here doing some shit on the fuel island though. And you got dudes like him.
Yeah, so look, bro, I understand you got your faith. I get it. But come on, bro. Like, you got to get up out the way. You have to get up out the way. We don't have time for this nonsense. We really don't. But yeah, shout out to Armando's. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got a picture. It's like a small house. It's kind of hard to see right here, but you can see it. So they got a drive-through right there. And then that's pretty much it. You got this there's this window in the front, a door right there, another window. That's the extent of it. That's the size of the whole spot. Stay packed. Stays packed. There's also a Chinese spot that stayed packed, that Ox 2 out there in Hamilton Place. I've been there one time. It was overrated. I had some what was that? Some kind of beef. I don't know what that was, but it was very salty. I wasn't a fan. There's not really too much good Chinese food out here. I noticed that. The Asians out here, if you're Asian out here, you do Vietnamese food really well or Thai food really well. But when you're talking about Chinese food from Fuzhou over there, it ain't really all that. And no Filipinos out here, so there's no Filipino food. But the Thai food and the Viet food, the Thai food especially, fantastic. If you could find a little hole in the wall Thai spot in Chattanooga, you didn't struck jackpot. But you go to a Chinese food spot, it's gonna be cat and rat and dog at best, in my opinion, respectfully. In Virginia, though, a Chinese food spot is gonna be fantastic. Great Wall number 7 will be off the hook. Over here, Hong Kong, Great Wall, not very good. Anyway, this is going to be a friend to the channel, James Klug, doing a street interview. And by the way, I will be doing these. I can't wait. I already got a space scoped out. But mine's going to be a little bit different. Mine's going to be more introspective, not necessarily political, not really political questions, more introspective. But anyway, this is going to be a liberal teacher in Philly talking about the hard-on crime policy being a bad thing for the community.
The tough on crime, I think you really need to be careful with that.
Why do you say so?
Specifically, if you're going to look at African Americans and you get a charge and you spend time in jail, that's diminishing your ability to make money. So that in itself, when you're tough on crime, and especially in a city, and I'm not saying you need to be loose on crime, but if you're too tough on crime, that is going to hurt the African American community in their ability, diminishing their long-term ability to make money. Part of the cycle of poverty is tough on crime. 1 in 4 African Americans in their lifetime getting charged. That's huge.
Is that more of an issue within the community that needs to be addressed, or is that an issue with being tough on crime? I'm from an area that's tough on crime, Orange County, right? And people don't come from LA to go rob places or steal or shoplift in Orange County because there's way tougher punishments for doing that. What is the end result of that? Well, maybe it might be people getting in trouble, but okay, I'm not in charge of your bad decisions. But what my community does get, the taxpayers, what they do get, the people that are following the rules do get, is a safer community. They don't get criminals going back on the street and maybe taking somebody's life.
Yeah, real quick.
I mean, the consequences are serious.
And I get that. My concern is the other part of the jail population is drugs.
Or district.
Really, if you have tough penalties for people, if there's tough penalties, there's less of a chance that you're going to have a crime occur. That's going to be the bottom line. You got to have a tough penalty, because if you don't, then the crimes are more likely to happen. People say, you know what? Okay, I can do this home invasion, this kidnapping, this burglary, because I'm going to get a slap on the wrist at best. Ain't never really going to happen to me. Again, we were talking about stuff like that. This was a talk I had with my friends when I was in 9th grade, 8th grade, middle school, high school. I was talking about stuff like this. We knew it. So people knew to not cross certain lines, because if they did, then it's going to be a severe penalty. The main thing that we knew was about the gun laws, automatic, off the rip, 5 years, mandatory minimum for an illegal weapon in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And you could be tried as an adult at age 14. So we knew at 14 years old, you want to play with guns. So, okay, well, you about to go to the penitentiary for at least 5 years. So congratulations. Rather than having a high school career, you got a prison career. And you got to do the whole 5. Ain't no 50%. You got to do the whole 5. Mandatory minimum. Off the rip, 14 years old. Your life is over with. Or at least you're going to have a big roadblock. So if you don't have these tough penalties on the books, then it's like no incentive to not commit crime. But yeah, I will be in the streets. I can't wait. I've been wanting to do it for a while, but I've been kind of like just, you do things for one way for so long. It just kind of like you get used to it, and it's hard to transition, but that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I have already been, looking to do. So I'll be in certain places. I'll travel to do my interviews. And I think when I travel far, I'll let you guys know where I'm going to be. I think that'd be a good way to do some of these meet and greets too, in a different kind of way. I'll let you know where I'm going to be. You come out and talk to me. Yes, Kath is 14. You could be tried as an adult, Commonwealth of Virginia, 14 years old. Absolutely. And I know guys that went to prison in high school.
Bear fan.
Now, the Chicago Bears NFL football team are leaving Chicago. They're leaving Chicago and they're going to Hammond, Indiana. Okay, now let's hear from a man right here about this.
Bear fan my whole life, and
I don't think it's right.
What do you have to say to leadership?
I think everybody in Illinois' politics, government should be fired. Pritzker, Brandon Johnson. How do you let the pride and joy of Illinois walk away? It's crazy. Bear fan.
All right, now let's go to G-Fit Go Crazy. Shout out to G-Fit Go Crazy. We seen him before when he went to Memphis, and then he was showing the their really bad arena. Memphis in general sucks, but it can improve. Memphis can improve. Nashville was not the way it is right now 15 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. Nashville improved. A lot of places have improved. Atlanta, if you go to Atlanta right now, there's some issues, but they've definitely improved. Memphis must also improve, but Chicago is a really big city. Sometimes we forget Chicago is number 3 as far as big American cities. You have New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago in that order. So there's not really a lot of places you can actually put the stadium in the city, if not where it is right now. So you got to go elsewhere. You got to go outside the city. And in this case, it's going to be in Indiana.
Soldier Field is the worst stadium in the NFL. This is why the Bears are leaving Chicago. It's very easy to call the Bears greedy assholes right now for abandoning their state, and they still might be, but it's a lot more complicated than that. If you've never been to a Bears game, there's a few things to know. First thing, this is the smallest stadium in the NFL that got even smaller because you can kind of see they renovated the current version of the stadium inside of the old one. For comparison, the Giants and Jets Stadium is 20,000 seats bigger than this. And then you factor in that we're in the largest market with only one NFL team. Year in and year out, Soldier Field has the most expensive tickets in the whole league. And even with the small capacity, even with the renovations, it's still not really built to host the amount of people it does. Soldier Field is the only stadium I've been to that if you have to go to the bathroom, you're just straight up missing the game. But despite all of this, being in the city should be important. Usually. How Soldier Field is set up, you have the stadium all the way over here. You have a whole museum park district over here. We have Pokemon Go Fest going on right now. And then the actual city where you're gonna go and do stuff is way out here. When you look at Soldier Field on a map, it looks like you're in the heart of everything, but feet on the street, you're really not. And you still don't really get the city benefits of public transit either. From where I'm standing right now, we are still a good 15-20 minute walk away from a train station. You see the traffic all around me. It's even worse getting out of a Bears game. There is no practical way to get in and out of Soldier Field at all. Take another look at this going all the way up to Lakeshore Drive. We are still so disconnected from the city. That establishes why this stadium and location sucks, but why can't we do something about it in Chicago? Well, you can't do it here because this whole strip of museums, parks, and Soldier Field itself are registered historic landmarks. Any construction on this whole strip is basically off the table, and then once we get into Chicago, we're still talking about the third biggest city in the country. Not a lot of space there either. That brings our choices to Arlington Heights in Indiana. Being in Indiana sounds a little bit silly, but it's the same distance from right here as Arlington Heights is.
So there we go. So Arlington Heights up there in the north, and then Indiana out there in the south. So yeah, you're going to just bypass Chicago. But Chicago, you know, it gets a bad reputation because of their south suburbs. The problem with them is that you got a big divide between the haves and the have-nots. That's in a lot of other places as well, but it's pronounced, especially in Chicago. Because what you had were a lot of those black migrant workers coming from the south to Chicago, and they're just not really being prepared for them. You put them in just kind of ramshackle type of stuff. It just wasn't really... So you got an issue in them south suburbs and in the west, but definitely in the south, okay, with the crime. But Chicago as a city is a beautiful place. Too cold for me when it's not the summertime. Okay, that lick effect, snow, and the wind. Oh man, fuck you getting shot in your hind parts with that wind and that cold. But it's a beautiful place. However, there's not really anywhere to expand inside the city. And of course, you got Mayor Mohawk. He's not going to be able to strike a deal. So they're going to just go to Indiana. They should go to Arlington Heights because it's still going to be in Illinois. But of course, you know, I think Indiana will be better business-wise for the Bears. The Bears. Shout out to the Bears. Okay, now let's keep on moving here. There's the move to have the MLB have a salary cap. I know about salary cap. Salary cap say you can't pay your active roster cannot be above this amount of money. What you pay your players in total cannot go above a certain number. That'd be the salary cap. And they're proposing one in baseball.
Mr. President, what do you think about Major League Baseball owners pushing for a salary cap? Do you think it's time for baseball to have a salary cap? No, it's a luxury tax threshold, but the teams that have the money are willing to spend it, like the Dodgers.
Okay, so a luxury tax, what that is, once you go up, like it's like a salary cap, but it's not, because a salary cap says you cannot spend above this, period. A luxury tax cap says if you go above this, then you got to pay more money to the league. Above that, you got to pay a fee. But if you got a bunch of money, LA Dodgers or whatever, you'll pay the fee. It's fine. You give Shohei Ohtani $1 trillion.
They can't help themselves. You know, in sports, they can't help themselves. Football has a salary cap.
Every major professional league except Major League Baseball in America.
They should have done it a long time ago. I know so much about sports. They should have done it a long time ago.
So he's saying basically they should have had the cap a long time ago, because if you don't, then how are you going to have a league? Okay. With no salary cap, there's no sport. So that's what Trump said. Now, speaking about sports, the NBA Finals. Have you guys been watching the game? I'm not even watching sports, really. I've watched some of the finals, though. Like, I got YouTube TV just for the finals. I don't watch TV any other time. Most of my day is spent reading, researching, things of this nature. I don't watch sports. I don't watch TV. But for the finals, I'm going to watch it. Now, this was a funny question. Somebody asked Trump. They were like, hey, how you feel about these really high prices for the finals, for the NBA Finals? People are having a hard time being able to afford it. Let's just hear what he said, because I want to say something about this right quick.
Have a great team.
What do you think that the game you're going to, the cheapest price for the game 3 you're going to is $8,000? Everyday Americans can't afford these sporting events.
No, but they can watch it on television. It's sort of semi-free to watch it on television, but that's the way life goes. You have some, and now if the game wasn't if the team wasn't a big success, you could go very easily. So, you know, you can do that too, but that's the way life is. Have a great.
Okay, basically talking about, well, some of these tickets for their finals are going to like $8,000. Well, it's more than that. For the finals, hey, you want to go to the NBA Finals? First it was in San Antonio, right? Now they're going to New York City. Not Brooklyn at the Barclays where the Nets play. They're going to Times Square, Madison Square Garden, Manhattan, the city. You're going to have every star in New York at the game. Trump going to be there. If you want to go to something like that, yeah, you're going to pay a lot of money. It's not a realistic thing to think you're going to be able to go to the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl or something like that. It's just not really a realistic thing. The World Cup, if you want to go see the top teams play, good luck with that. You want to go to the final in New York, Madison Square Garden? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to pay some money for that. But what he said was right. Hey, if you can't afford to pay the ticket to go to the finals, which most of us not going to be able to do, watch it on TV for free. It's on network TV. Hey, get you a little antenna and then do your thing. Matter of fact, I ain't think about that, getting an antenna. Whatever, I already paid for it now, so it's okay. I was watching some of the playoffs on cable, on network TV. Not network, I don't know. It's so confusing. It make it hard for you to watch it. They got some games on this channel. They got some games on Netflix. They got some games on Tubi. They got it on Paramount Plus and this and that. I don't want all that. Hey, I'm an old dude, man. Give me just one channel to watch. 31013. Bring that back. 31013. What channel the game come on? Channel 3. Oh, okay, boom. Click, turn it on. Maybe TNT or ESPN, but really all I want is to watch ABC or NBC, and I'm good. Okay. Now, this is the kind of excitement that you're going to get at the World Cup game. Shout out to all my World Cup fans, all my footy fans, all my soccer fans, football fans, whatever you call it, wherever you're from. Shout out to you guys. I'm not really familiar. I'm going to go to a World Cup game in Atlanta. Hey, I'm going to go to a World Cup game. I keep hearing about them. They're not really sold out like that. I thought it was going to be sold out. I thought I had no chance of going, but they're saying, nah, a lot of these games are not really sold out. Like, you know, it's not, you're not seeing the top tier teams play. So I'll go to a game just to check it out. And when I go to the game, I'm gonna show you guys Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video with my vlogging equipment, and I'm gonna show you guys the stadium. It is so nice if you've not seen it before in Atlanta. But here's the energy you're gonna get at a World Cup game.
Now already that quick question of what happens in 2026, and there's a man who pays tribute to late Patrice Lumumba, stands that way the entire match.
Yeah.
Motionless. It's a very glowing homage that he pays. Now already.
Dedication is real. The energy is real. And a lot of it is like everybody with their country flags, a lot of national pride. It's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot that goes into it. Hey, you got a Nigerian uncle. He watching the team Niger. Look at my son on the screen. He's going to do so good in the game. He's going to Nigeria. We're going to dominate the World Cup today. This is oh yeah, we're going to win. That's how they be. So shout out to all my footy fans. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Now, here is a look at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium on the outside with the World Cup stuff. Normally, it has the Mercedes-Benz logo. See this little circular thing right there? That covers Mercedes-Benz, because since they are having the World Cup there, they don't want any of the corporate logos on it, so they got this wrap on it. But this picture does it no justice. You got to go to the stadium and see it. I done seen it. Downtown Atlanta, you got to go in there and check it out. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to a World Cup game. Since they're having it right here in Atlanta, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to show you guys how beautiful the stadium is. It's really a work of art. A work of art. I think that's probably the best stadium in the country. Not even, it's new. It's super high tech, modern. The designers behind it, it's a lot. It's really a lot. So yeah, you guys got to go to that stadium. Hold on. Here's a video of the inside. And again, it doesn't do justice. Something like I've seen some things. If you ever seen the Grand Canyon, or you ever seen like a really tall mountain peak, when you take a picture of it, you can't get the full feeling that match what you got when you were there. But here's a video of the inside of the stadium. So yeah, very, very, very nice stadium. The design is just something else. I'm sure there's videos on the interwebs where they show you like the making of it and how they, how everything works and just the whole thing. This is where they have the Atlanta Falcons play normally. Okay, so after the World Cup, here comes the Falcons. They play right here at the stadium. Okay, people talking about the baseball team moved from downtown Atlanta to Smyrna, all of that, but really it was good because over in Smyrna you got the Battery and all that kind of stuff right by the Brave Stadium, rather than being that Ted Turner Field. You go to out there. I forget the name of that stadium. Is it Truist? The Truist Park out there in Smyrna? Whatever it is, it's good to be out there because you're closer to the north, where baseball fans are, and it's, more of a carved out location. Now, speaking about beautiful things, okay, so we're getting the reflecting pool back reflecting. They're talking about, they put blue on the bottom. It's going to be perfectly fine. It's going to be nice and beautiful. And actually, President Trump, if you're listening, bro, I want to go to DC soon here to visit. Like once you get the reflecting pool finished, I want to go check it out. Malcolm X Park, I want to go check it out. I want to see the beautification effort results in person. Because again, to see these things on the internet is one thing. To see them in person is something else. I've been in DC many times. I've seen everything. I've been to the Smithsonian. I've been to all of that. We used to go there for field trips when I was a kid because I live in Virginia. It's like a 3-hour drive. It's nothing. So I've seen all of this many times, but I got to go again to see the renovation and to see fewer crackheads out on the street. Last time I was in DC, it's been years now. I went there in 2020, right during the election time, before the election though. I went there and I'm seeing crackheads. I mean, it was a mess, man. It was a mess, but I'm glad that they are trying to clean DC up for sure. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up.
It's okay.
Okay, let's hear from people talking about the beautification efforts from out of state. And shout out to Homer Bash on Fox 5.
So they just started filling it a few hours ago, and the big question was, will the reflecting pool still reflect? Well, yes, indeed it will. Take a look right now. This is, of course, a live look as they are filling the pool from the middle. This all started back in April when President Trump said they would repair and repaint the 2,000 square foot pool. Workers drained it at that point. It has been cleanup maintenance mode ever since. Crews have power washed and fumigated the granite pool before they got this American flag blue colored coating. Here's what folks who saw some of the filling today had to tell us. And by the way, most everyone we spoke to was visiting from out of state.
I think it's going to be beautiful. It really is. And we're coming back in the fall just so we can see it.
Clean, painted, refilled.
Okay.
We came in back in 2020 and it was under maintenance, and we come back in 2026 hoping to see the pool and it's back in maintenance again.
I've always seen it on TV, and I'm like, for the first time here for us, I think it's going to look very nice. Yes.
Where are you guys visiting from?
Texas, San Antonio, Texas.
Happy to see it. Can't wait till it's done.
I see you taking selfies with it.
Yeah. Can you take my picture? Am I live right now? What's happening?
It's not live, but I'm happy to take your photo.
Hey, number one, I'm Canadian.
Yes, in fact, we did an entire photo shoot. A lot of people are coming by to see what this looks like at this hour. Okay, so final price tag expected to be about $13 million. That is much, much higher than the initial $1.5 million that President Trump had quoted. Now, in the last couple of hours, he also mentioned he was going to add on to the Lincoln Memorial a promenade connecting the Lincoln to the Potomac. Again, this announcement just coming very recently, so very few details available on that. But as you can see, the reflecting pool filling from the middle, expected to take a few days before it is back up and running.
All right, there we go. So that is beautification effort out there in DC, trying to get everything going. Yeah, it's not filled up all the way. The pool is big. The pool is as tall as a skyscraper. So, you know, it might not be as easy to fill up like a bathtub or a regular swimming pool in your hotel or something like this. Now, some people don't like the fact that the pool is being beautified and whatnot. So let's check this out. And you already know kind of what time it is. Hey, name's Chris. Anyway.
I honestly think it's just about him. It's his ego. And he's saying, well, I did this because he has no control of the government. So at least he can control the grounds because they don't have any answer to response. Seeing all this, it's sad. It's really sad. I honestly think it.
Okay, there we go. So I don't know. This person's name is Mercy Lopez. I don't know what the pronouns are. Mercy here says that, you know, it's kind of a cover up. Like, you can't control the government. Things ain't going right. Everybody don't got no money, blah, blah, blah. So you got to control the grounds. But the problem is the grounds have always been a thing that has been under maintenance. Things have been renovated. That's always something that happens. That's not anything new or special. Okay, let's go back to 2012 under one Barack H. Obama. 2012.
Being just cleaned and opened up a month ago. Looks like nothing was done. It's real nasty.
The pool was closed for almost 2 years and underwent a $34 million renovation project.
It'd be nice if it was clearer water so that one could reflect without seeing the algae.
The first thought was
being just clean.
Yeah, so the algae and whatnot, and you can see it. They kind of showed it to you right here. Like, you see that? It's not very clear. You see this, like, these lines right here? That's the algae. It looks like doo-doo in the water. It's not very nice. Not a very nice look. That's not what you want to have in your reflecting pool. You don't want to have algae in the pool. All right. And that was in 2012. $34 million. That was what it was like after they spent that much money on it. Can you imagine that? $34 million, and then you got algae clogging up it was a mess. It was a total mess. Now, speaking about people that are a mess, okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene going to Mexico to try to reverse aging with stem cells. Okay, Marjorie, hey, we getting all kind of money, right? Hey, Marjorie, you got that big bag of money from the federal government, insider trading, all of that. You came into the game worth $700,000. You left with $30 million after only five years. Imagine that. Hey, Marjorie, you changed your whole life. You know that? You came in with a husband who had a business, and you were worth $700,000. You and your husband get divorced. You get a brand new husband. Now you're worth $30 million. How'd you get that? From the new husband, from a divorce settlement, or insider trading, or a combination of all the above? You tell me. Anyway, what better way to spend all that money you made in only 5 years on stem cell therapy to reverse aging?
Well, I'm getting stem cell treatments.
Sorry.
Not bad. She's pretty good. So we're down in Mexico getting a stem cell IV, which is absolutely incredible and healthy. And this is something that you can't get in the United States, unfortunately, because our FDA and our government won't let us, but they should. So I highly recommend this, and I'm very excited for the great health benefits.
There we go. So, hey, it must be nice to get stem cell treatments and whatnot. Hey, I wonder how much that costs. I wonder how much what's the tab on that? And if you forgot, okay, there's Marjorie with her new spouse on the left, of course. That's Thomas Massey with his new spouse. Hey, his wife dead 2024, 2025, he remarried. And she worked in the office. So I'm not saying nothing, but it is what it is. Shout out to them. Hopefully they enjoy themselves out there in Costa Rica, Mexico, wherever they are. All right, let's keep going here. And where are we going to go? Okay, Bezos. Let's go to Bezos. I like Jeff Bezos when he talks because you can say whatever you want about Amazon, about Washington Post, about Jeff Bezos, or what else? Blue Origin. Say whatever you want, but hearing the man talk, I'm hearing wisdom. I'm hearing the big brain speaking, and I hear the big brain spouting out wisdom. That's what I see. All right, let's check this out.
We have in our society and inside companies, we have a bunch of mechanisms that we use to resolve these kinds of disputes. A lot of them are, I think, really bad. So an example of a really bad way of coming to agreement is compromise. So compromise, look, we're in a room here and I could say, Lex, how tall do you think this ceiling is? And you'd be like, I don't know, Jeff, maybe 12 feet tall. And I would say, I think it's 11 feet tall. Yeah. And then we'd say, you know what? Let's just call it 11 and a half feet. That's compromise. Yeah. Instead of the right thing to do is, to get a tape measure or figure out some way of actually measuring, but getting that tape measure and figure out how to get it to the top of the ceiling and all these things, that requires energy. Compromise, the advantage of compromise as a resolution mechanism is that it's low energy, but it doesn't lead to truth. And so in things like the height of the ceiling, where truth is a knowable thing, you shouldn't allow compromise to be used when you can know the truth. Another really bad resolution mechanism that happens all the time is just who's more stubborn. Yeah. This is also...
Let's pause right there. The whole thing about this compromise, it's like, no, let's get to the bottom of it. If I say it's 12 foot, you say it's 11 foot, and we just settle in the middle, well, that's not getting to the actual real issue. We're not solving the problem. We have to actually measure this and get it right, not just saying, let's agree, disagree, or compromise. Let's get it down to the actual truth of what is actually happening rather than relying on the compromise. I agree with that. Let's keep going.
Let's say two executives who disagree, and they just have a war of attrition. Yeah. And whichever one gets exhausted first capitulates to the other one. Again, you haven't arrived at truth. And this is very demoralizing. So, this is where escalation, I try to ask people who, on my team, to say, never get to a point where you are resolving something by, who gets exhausted first. Escalate that. I'll help you make the decision. Because that's so de-energizing and such a terrible, lousy way to make a decision.
Yeah, I'm not really into that. This whole war of attrition. Okay, whoever gets tired first, you win. Let's actually solve the problem. Let's not just focus on these tactics that are designed to be able to say that somebody won or somebody lost. It shouldn't be about that when you're trying to solve a problem. It should be about solving the actual problem rather than just trying to win on technicalities or just succeed in that moment. Let's actually solve the problem. Now, speaking about solving problems, one thing that we got going on in this country is a lack of literacy, big lack of literacy. And I'm starting to see it manifest itself in many different ways. I was at Starbucks one time many years ago. No, I'm not a Starbucks kind of guy, but I happened to be there. Don't ask me why I was there, but I was there. I'm gonna get me a little drink. Let me get a Starbucks. Let me try to be one of y'all with the Stanley cups and stuff like that. Yeah, let me try to be one of y'all for a day. Give me a Starbucks drink. What's the name of the order? Anthony. I go to the cup. They spell my name Antony, no H. Did I say Anthony? Do I look like some Italian composer? Like what's going on? Anthony, Anthony. They can't spell. A lot of younger people, not all, but some, too many, an alarming amount, especially since we have so much technology and ways to be able to educate our children. It seems like we're regressing when it comes to literacy. And we've seen some of these videos, some of these street interviews where they're asking people to read the index card. Now, of course, these are curated to show some who cannot read, while others who can read may not be on that same video. But we understand that the words that are being read incorrectly are not that difficult. So there's a literacy issue. People can't read, and when they are able to read a little bit, they don't comprehend. You see, you can read something, and then once you're asked, what does that mean? I don't know, man. So my man right here is hiring, and look at what people wrote on an application.
We are in an illiteracy epidemic. This guy was a micer operator. They want $12 an hour for stalking freshly graduated kids out into the adult world, and they can't spell. What are we doing? We are in.
Okay, so look, micer operator. I guess that maybe mixer, operating the mixer. I guess supposed to be an X right there, and then operator is spelled OPORATOR, operator. Okay. For me, that spells operator. What is an operator? What that mean? Okay. Optoraptor, Velociraptor. What's that mean? Jurassic Park?
Micer operator. They want $12 an hour for stalking.
Okay. So now you want to stalk? You want to stalk somebody? You want to follow somebody? You want to, peep in time in their window? That's what stalking, STALKING. Or do you want to STOCKING, stocking? You want to be able to put boxes on shelves. That's what you want to do. Hey, you know what? Actually, for that same $12 or less, I'm going to get Mikey the machine operator to stock the boxes. And the machine going to be able to spell stocking right. See, that's an example of AI taking your job. That person right there is going to be affected. So that person, what they got to do, that person must educate themselves a little bit more or find a way to do a more productive thing. You don't got to be a big brain to work with your hands and get money. I know guys that have been to prison. I'm talking about not jail for a little bit, years in prison, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years in the penitentiary, and they come home and make six figures working with their hands. So it's no excuse for a free person to not know how to spell stocking and trying to get 12 an hour and trying to just, it's no excuse. If you've been to prison and you got that on your record, violent felonies, and you're still able to make money, so can you. Anyway, let's keep on going here. Now,
Hey,
this is going to be a nice apartment in Charlotte, and the rent, we'll see in a minute, but very nice. I will live here. I will live here for sure. And let me know, would you live here in this place?
How much do you pay for rent in Charlotte, North Carolina?
Hey, I pay $1,600.
Can you give us a tour of your apartment?
Yeah, let's check it out. So this is my 1-bedroom apartment. I live at the Lofts at Hawthorne Mill. This was previously a historic mill that's now converted into apartments. So I have the original hardwood flooring, and these big beautiful windows are why I love living here. My kitchen's really nice because I have these overhead lights atop of the cabinets, which really brightens up the space. I still have the stainless steel appliances, a dishwasher, an in-unit washer and dryer. So I have everything that I need. There's plenty of storage. There's a coat closet right here. And I actually like the bedroom is open at the top, and there's plenty of space to get at least a queen in here. I could probably stretch a king if I wanted to. Plenty of closet space. And for one person, this is really all I need. A nice little bathroom. And this is all I need.
Hey, how much do you...
So that right there was very nice. Okay, the rent, not bad, $1,600. I would live there. I would most certainly live there for sure. Like if I ain't have my house right now, I would live in somewhere like that. You a single guy? That's definitely, look, the flooring really is nice. I like some of these old mills. You got the exposed brick. I love that exposed brick. The exposed brick is like one of my favorites, with the hardwood floors, the tall ceilings, the open window, all the natural light. That's amazing. That's a good place for a podcast right there. And that chair right there with the open natural light and the exposed brick with the carpet, the hardwood, all of that is perfect for a setting. Perfect. And great to live in as well. Okay. So yeah, all these like revitalized mills and stuff like that. I love staying in places like that or living there. Shout out to my guys out there in Atlanta. Hard initiated their podcast. Their podcast is in a place like this. It's like an old mill or something in Atlanta that they have converted into apartments. So yeah, shout out to them over at the Hard Initiated podcast. Now this is going to be about in New York. How much do you pay for rent in East Village?
How much do you pay?
Or in New York City in general? What do you pay for rent? Now, what we just saw was in North Carolina. And was it Charlotte, North Carolina? Yeah, it was in Charlotte. This New York City is going to be a little bit of a difference between Charlotte and New York City.
How much do you pay for rent?
$5,600.
$5,600?
I pay a little under $3,000.
Mine's $1,800. Pay about $4,000 a month.
What neighborhood? How many bedrooms?
Gramercy Park, 1 bedroom.
Yeah,
Where?
by the water on Greenwich Street.
Here in East Village.
Me too.
What do you do?
I work in genetic optimization.
Electrical services.
We both model.
Where have we seen you?
Nike, Oakley, brands like that. Some pretty...
Same, I mostly do like sports brands. Reebok, Under Armour, Nike.
Do you have advice for people who want to move to New York?
It's probably going to cost more than you think. Be true to your budget and what you can afford and stick to it. Save up.
Start looking early. I think this is where you have to be for most industries, and it pays off in the long run. Do what you can to make it work, but live with friends. It's fun. Go out all the time and just do something that matters to you.
Yeah, if you're a young guy, like these are all young guys. If you're a young guy, you got some money, hey man, have a good time. But try to stack and try to plan for the future. If you're going to be a model, okay, you're going to be in your underwear for Nike and stuff like that until how old? You got to just plan for the future a little bit too. So have fun, but also plan for the future. But yeah, shout out to those guys out there in New York. Very high rent. Not for me. If you're a young guy and you got some money, that's one thing. But me, that's not really my cup of tea. Not really at all. And the ABL podcast, well, this is a podcast, but not really. This is just kind of me venting, really. But the podcast will be interviews. So like DJ Vlad, it'll be like that. But with people that I know that you might not have seen be interviewed before. Yeah, I got a lot of connections from over the years, not just from YouTube, but back in Virginia as well. I got some celebrities I'm trying to get. I have some connections that have some connections. So that's what I'm going to do. That's going to be my focus. All right, let's keep going here. Now, this is going to be Miami.
Let me show you.
What can you get for an apartment when you spend $750? A cool $750. What are you going to get for an apartment in Miami? I would suspect you're going to have an alligator that's going to be in your backyard just because you're going to be like basically living in a patch of water in the Everglades for that amount of money in Florida. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. And shout out to the alligators. No disrespect.
Let me show you what you can find in Miami for $750 per month. So this is the smallest studio we ever had. This is a small kitchen. You can put some shades here to separate the kitchen and the bathroom. And this is...
Wait. So the kitchen is right there? That's a kitchen, this little table? Am I tripping? Okay, so what are you going to do in there? All you're going to do is put your DoorDash order up there and eat it. And then when you're done with the rest, you're going to put it in the fridge. If you got, hey, your DoorDash will go right there on top of the table. And once you are finished and you still got something left, you put it in the fridge below you. You ain't going to do no cooking or nothing in there. And then the bathroom is right there.
This is a small kitchen. You can put some shades here to separate the kitchen and the bathroom. And this is the master bedroom. Look at this. This is a spacious master bedroom.
To separate entrance and the AC.
Walk-in closet. It's pretty wide next to Young Circle and the golf course. So if you like to play golf, this is the best spot.
And here's a new freezer. And the shower. Text me if you want to take a tour.
So how about it? Okay, $700. You got it. You can live in Miami. All right. Now, you might not be able to cook no food in there. And I can imagine you're going to have all kind of lizards and everything up under them doors. And it's going to be a gator that greets you every morning like it's clockwork. Okay, that's what's going to happen. But hey, $700, so that's affordable. It's affordable. People talking about something, you got affordable housing. Do you really want affordable housing? Because that's always been the thing people have been clamoring for all throughout history is affordability. That's why they had the projects when they first were built. It was affordable. But do you really want that? Do you want to live in affordable housing? That's the question. Okay, your purpose, if you have to look for affordable housing, your purpose should be to elevate beyond just quote unquote affordable and get to something that is what you really want. Because you might start in a spot like that. You might start there, and it's okay to start there, but you want to elevate from that if at all possible. Now, what you don't want to do is go to an HOA controlled place and have this scenario take place.
You are on private HOA property.
I'm on a picnic table talking to my neighbors. I'm just having a conversation privately with my neighbors. That's all I'm doing.
Ma'am, I've already asked you to leave.
I'll be leaving when I'm done.
All right, so at this point, I'm going to have to contact Osceola County
Can I see your credentials?
Yeah, let them.
I need to see your credentials, please.
I don't have to show you anything, ma'am.
You do.
Ma'am.
Your security, you need to show me your credentials.
Wow, he doesn't want to.
I'm not in the pool area.
Okay, so if you don't understand what's going on here, the HOA has their own security, and the security are trying to tell them they're having some kind of improper gathering at their house. Now, from what I see, they're just kind of like in their backyard area, talking to neighbors. Now, they got a photo right here for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a meeting. It could be just a talk or whatever. How are you going to tell me I can't sit here and talk? Like, what's going on with that? Now, luckily, I have an HOA in my neighborhood, but they would never do anything like that. They would never. The HOA, you don't even know they're there. All they want is their little dues every month, and you good. As long as you pay your little $50 or whatever it is, you good. I have a good. But some HOAs are terrible. They're horrendous. And that one might be one of them right there. HOA security, I would never. If there is a HOA security in a neighborhood, I'm not moving there. I'm not moving there. And if they try to bring that into the fold, hey, you know what? I will take over the HOA. I'll be the HOA leader. I'll be Idi Amin, the dictator. And we're not going to have stuff like that go on in my HOA. If I was the king of the HOA, all I would say is don't have junk cars in your yard and keep your grass cut. That's it. Cut your grass. That's all we got to do. You need some help? I help you with the grass. I ain't going to cut it for you, but I'll tell you how to keep it nice. I'll tell you exactly what to do. Some tips and tricks on how to keep it nice. All you got to do is cut it. Real simple. It don't got to be super pretty. Okay. Also with HOAs, what I would do is identify nuisance homes. Now, what you're going to see is kind of a hoarder house. If you're kind of nervous or squeamish, it ain't that bad in my opinion, but I'm just saying it's going to be a hoarder house. Fort Worth, Texas. Now, imagine you have a cleaning company and you get caught somewhere like this.
A mess. Story of my life.
So automatically you see the door is dirty already. So you already know what you're gonna be in for. Now, in this scene right here, hold on, matter of fact, in this freeze frame right here, you have 3 people. Do you see everybody? There's 3 humans in this freeze frame. Do you see them?
How everyone doing? How you doing, sir? How you doing, Vince? Okay, so
I knew who he was the minute I answered the phone. Wasn't even no caller ID on it. I went, you must be with Jib the Cleaner.
okay, so what we got going on?
We got a fucking walleye ring-tailed mess. But
what's that right there? A roach in the bed? Like in that bed? Oh my God. Hey, listen. Like all they're saying is get them boxes right there and don't get all the boxes. Hey, just take them right. Just take 2 boxes and that's all you got to take. It's like, man, we need to take this whole house. Look at the dishes. I mean, come on. And then there's it's like a horde over there. And he's asking, hey, can I get that room too? They was like, nah, to get them 2 boxes right there. You're not going to clean up this house. What I say, take a match to it, get everybody out, get all your dogs and your cats and the humans out, get everybody out and just, cause that right there, listen, my house, come to my house right now, it's always clean. If anybody surprise me and just pop up, ding dong, you come in here, it's going to be spotless. Or it ain't gonna look like that. No way. Yeah. So if I was the HOA president and I'm seeing signs of an outdoor horde that could be emanate from the inside, now, hey man, you can't be in here like that. You can't be in here with no sheets in your bed. The bed is completely filthy. No, we're not gonna do that. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Oh, WAYMO. I almost forgot about WAYMO. So apparently in San Francisco, somebody got beat up and robbed inside of a WAYMO. Because when you're in these cars, you're on your own. There's no other person in there with you. So if a taxi is being carjacked or you're being robbed, there's someone who might be able to help you. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But when you're in the WAYMO, you're on your own. So if I decide to get into a WAYMO or anywhere in this area, I want to be able to carry my pistol. So look, you see the window broken right here at the WAYMO on the passenger side. And on the driver's side as well. So yeah, not very safe. Not very safe vehicles. And then my question would be, how did the windows get broken? Did the WAYMO just stop? Because sometimes what happened is the vehicle will just stop and it won't go anywhere. And now whatever's happening outside the vehicle, you're going to be subject to that. Just like this case here, where a WAYMO is stopped in a street and it's being actively tagged while you got a guy and his dog on the inside just looking like, what did we do? Okay, music, let's turn that down. No copyright. So you can see the WAYMO being actively tagged, spray paint, actively tagged, while you got a guy and this little dog. Okay, see the dog? The dog's like, hey, what's going on? And the guy's just looking forward. Agent Smith, not even showing no emotions. What do? Okay, I don't know if they got chalk. I don't know what that is. Or marker. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but what do? So that situation, it might not be anything, but it could be something. Rather than just drawing on the WAYMO, they could just punch in the door, punch in the window, and assault you. And you can't really do much because you can't escape. The car just sitting there, just letting stuff happen. Now, if I'm behind the wheel of the car, I'm going to put the pedal to the metal. I'm talking about I'm Mad Max. Hey, we're going to be busting all kind of corners. We're going to be hitting the nitrous. We're going to be up out of there. We're not going to just let stuff like that happen. But when you're in the WAYMO, you're not the driver, and there is no human driver. Hey, it is what it is. Now, there was another one where there was an explosion in Dallas, an apartment explosion, and the vehicle, first responders trying to get to it, but there's a WAYMO blocking the way. Hold on. Let me just show this right here.
New video showing a Dallas deputy desperately trying to move a driverless car as fire crews race to a deadly apartment explosion. And now we're hearing from that officer.
The dramatic new body camera video showing a Dallas deputy frantically trying to move a WAYMO, which police say was blocking the road in the middle of an emergency.
There's nobody in here.
First responders on their way to that massive and deadly apartment gas explosion, which killed 3 people last week. Watch as Deputy Jonathan Banda tries to get the car to move forward.
Go forward. Go.
But it doesn't budge. About a minute later, it connects to WAYMO rider support.
Connected to rider support.
Yes, you need to move this car ASAP, please. There's a fire around the corner.
Banda offering to move the car himself.
If I can manually move it, I can move it.
And after 3 minutes, finally moving the WAYMO and clearing the path for firefighters racing to the inferno.
The firefighters needed to come in and concentrate on just doing their job and taking care of the fire. They do not need to be out there worrying about traffic or people being on the roadway.
And with reports of people still trapped inside the burning building, every second matters.
Every second matters. And when you're in the WAYMO, that's a problem. Now, if you are a human being refusing to get out the way, you could go to jail for that, if I'm not mistaken. Like, that's going to be a problem if you don't want to get out the way. You're just blocking the way. You're going to be arrested for sure, and rightfully so, because the fire truck must get to this place as soon as possible to put out the fire. Also, if you're parked in front of a fire hydrant, they're going to bust your windows out and put the hose straight through your car, because you cannot. The hose is not able to like bend around you. It has to go straight because it's high pressure. To be able to put these flames out, you got to have high pressure water. It's not like a water hose from your actual house. It's high pressure to go directly into the actual fire. So yeah, shout out to the firefighters. WAYMO's in the way per usual. All right. Oh, I got one more. Speaking about AI and stuff, have you guys seen this over in China, where this AI robot kicked the little kid? I'll turn this down, but you can see. Okay, we do a little demonstration and kaboom. Like, my question is, do you guys think it's just the AI acting on its own, or is it a human being controlling the robot? Like, what's going on? When the robot stopped dancing after it kicked the little kid, what happened? Was it the human being that's controlling it? Oops, made a mistake. Did the AI realize it made a mistake, or what's going on? So yeah, not very good. Not very good at all. I hope we're not seeing iRobot in front of us where they just decide to go ahead and go crazy and ice us and do away with us. I hope we're not at that stage of society. But hey, it could be. It very well could be. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Is there a remote control? I'm sure that it is. Somebody out there trying to be funny. Okay, just doing little stuff. Oh, it's AI. Oh, okay, I'm sure it was another Indian. Okay, that's what that is. Ain't no actual ain't no actual computer just thinking on its own. That's some remote control. Somebody playing with their robot and kicking little kids on purpose. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate you rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And let's get to some calls. But first, we got some super chats I'm going to read, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have some? Yeah, I got some. Let's read these right quick. And then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Right there on the screen. You can see it. It's also in the description. Thank you to Apu Bakr, Puff Daddy, who says, ABL reaction to YouTuber Jesse Ridgway's news, sad. Okay, I did see that. I had that video kind of queued up here. Okay, hold on. You're very good at what you asking. Do I have it? Hold on. I thought I had it. Maybe I don't. I'm gonna find it. I will find it. But yeah, I saw that. So what happened with the YouTuber? He decided to have an abortion because the baby was tested positive for Down syndrome, if I'm not mistaken. It's really unfortunate, but not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. Hold on. I might be able to find it. I'm gonna find it in a minute. Matter of fact, I got it right here. I know where it's at. Hold on. Give me 1 second. There we go. Boom. Here we go. It's a short video. I'm gonna play it right quick.
Close people to us, very judgmental, religious based, saying we're gonna burn in hell. We deserve to die.
I don't deserve to be a mother because of, the decision that we just made.
Yeah, we had a gate installed. I have a gun next to my nightstand because it's been getting so ridiculous. Okay,
so what happened? This guy right here is a YouTuber, Jesse Ridgway. Him and his wife announced that they were having an abortion because baby tested positive for, I think, Down syndrome or something like this. And when they put the news out there, they got a lot of negative kickback. Now, I wouldn't advise threatening them over that. I would just say that you could disagree. Okay, you're not gonna like what they did, but threatening them is crazy. I think it's more sad than anything. It's really sad that they had to do this. And it just points to how we're going to have a continuous decline in the birth rate because we're going to have more and more of this as time progresses. You guys got to watch Idiocracy. I'm not trying to call them idiots. I'm just saying this is part of the movie. Remember in Idiocracy, a documentary at this point, in the beginning, it was a couple looking just like this. Well, not quite. The couple was more professional and clean cut and stuff like this. And they appear to have some sense and they're doing well for themselves and they're career driven. They were struggling to have any kids. They're doing treatments and all kind of stuff, stressing themselves out and having no kids. But Bubba and his wife in the trailer park popping out kids like popcorn. Okay, like Mexicans, Catholics, no condoms, just straight up baby. You get a whole football team, basketball team, soccer team, all of that in the house. The problem is the good intelligence, the good genetics that lead to someone being successful are not producing as much as the more moronic gene pool is producing. And that's just kind of what happens. And that was in Idiocracy in the opening scene. That's exactly what they are right there. Matter of fact, hold on. Can I find that? Hey, if you guys have not seen that yet, I done told y'all so many times to watch it. You have to watch it. But let me find the opening scene because they were sitting just like that in the scene too. Let me see. Opening. Yep. Here. Perfect. Look, watch this. Okay. So I'm gonna show you this, right? Okay, that's him. That's them talking. All right, that's them. And then let's watch this. Hold on.
As the 20.
All right, hold on. And then watch this. Boom. See? Same.
Too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pill or some shit.
Hell no.
Must have been thinking of Britney.
Britney? No, you didn't. There's no way we could have a child now. Not with the market the way it is, no.
God, no, that just wouldn't make any sense.
Come on over here, bitch. He don't care about you. Yeah.
So you see the difference? You know, the trailer trash, the hood people, whatever, the not upper crust people, they got all the kids in the world. But the well-to-do family, not so much.
Well, it's not my
See how that works? Like I said, it's just the same as what we just saw. Am I wrong? Anyway, if you've not seen that movie, please watch it. Idiocracy.
Yeah,
it is a fictional movie, but I think that it's factual. Anyway, let's keep on going here. Shout out to J-Rock, who says, I'm hell-bent on proving black conservatives will defend black people before anything else. I would pay for the privilege to call you out. Okay, congratulations. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay, and I'll see you in the next video as well. Thank you to Sandy Go Varsity says, how do you feel about Sean Strickland, the only American champion, being banned from UFC White House 250 next week due to his Israel stance? Well, he says it because it's the Israel stance. But I think that if you have a person that's kind of problematic and it's going to cause more issues than they would be a benefit to be there, then I don't see why that would be a bad thing to ban them. Yeah. If you're going to be an issue, then we don't got to have you here. Hey, you have the right to your freedom of expression, but that does not mean that you must be invited to everything because, hey, I'm not an anti-Israel guy, but I'm not invited to UFC at the White House. You're not entitled to anything because you think you are. You know, they're going to invite who they want to invite, and that's it. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says the reason why voting takes long in California, they have to change any vote that they think is bad and put in the ones they think are right. Well, there you go. They got to manipulate the vote. So that might take a little bit longer than just counting it. Thank you to Jason, who says the Whopper is legit. Right on. Thank you to Jason again, who says Clarksville is my hometown. Shout out to Clarksville. Okay, small town, but really good people from what I know. Really, really good people. Thank you to Ryan Anderson, who says crime don't pay, but apparently I can do crime, not be punished for it, and so can he could do more crime. We paid for it. There you go. Alrighty. Thank you guys for the super chats. Let's get to the phone calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. But yeah, Sean Strickland, I mean, for real, if I put it to you this way, if I was in charge of inviting people to the event, I would not invite them either, because anybody talking about the Jews, this is Jews that, I don't really want to be around you for real, because you're kind of a moron, respectfully. And I don't want that kind of energy to be at the event. Yeah, I don't want the morons to be there at the event. So that's fine. All right. But yeah, if there's a talk about Karmelo Anthony in the chat, I don't care. Hey, for real, you know what I want to stop talking about? Chud the Builder, Karmelo Anthony, all of that. I don't care. Go watch The Quartering. Go watch one of these netbeard YouTubers talk about that type of stuff. I'm done with that. I said what I said. It's a news topic, and once we get an update on it, I'll come back. But as far as the consistent talk, I'm good. I'm gonna get into more interesting subjects in interviews, not talking about Chud the Builder. I hate that topic so much. I really do. But I had to talk on it because part of my purpose is to educate, and people just don't know certain things. So I'm here for that. Once I'm able to educate about that, I move on to something else. I don't want to keep harping on that and keep making a new video every 2 hours like The Quartering does. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to talk about like things that I actually care about, things that I'm interested in, not these, hot topics that's controversial. I'm good on that. Okay. But like I said, Sam, I don't care. You're talking to your own self. I couldn't care less. It don't matter. The number to call is, and matter of fact, the phone lines are open. If you must talk about that subject, then call me. Don't be a faceless avatar like Liberal Hive Mind. Call me on the phone and talk about it. And if not, I don't even care. But the number to call is 706-406-3287. I'll wait. Hey, y'all, hey, I'm ready. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Yeah, let me get it. I mean, I'll wait. Anyway, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I have played sports before. Football, basketball, baseball. Like, I know about sports. I did not live under a rock in my life. In my life. I've been to high school basketball games, college football games. I've not been to an NFL game yet. I've been to an NBA game. I've been to a few NBA games. I saw Kobe and Charlotte. I saw Kobe and Charlotte play, and I saw him come back from like a big deficit. They were down like 20 points. He came back in the fourth quarter, game winner. It was crazy. It was like it was something to watch. I saw Kobe out there just give all of himself, completely left everything out there on the basketball court. It was like watching a carpenter build something from scratch. It was something to see. It was really crazy. I went to a Wizards game. I saw Kevin Garnett play. I saw Gilbert Arenas play. I saw quite a few guys play. All right, let's get to okay, we had somebody that called and it just hung right up. Yeah, I've seen a few guys play. I've not been to an NFL game. I got to go to an NFL game. I got to go to the Mercedes-Benz and see the Falcons play somebody. But before that, I'm going to go to a World Cup game. I'm going to go to a World Cup game coming up. I think the first game is on the 15th. That's a Monday. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I think it's Spain versus Morocco or somebody. I'm going to go to that game. And I'm going to record a video for y'all so you can see Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So then I would have been to soccer. I guess that's pro soccer, NFL, NBA. I've not been to an MLB game yet. I've been to some minor league games. I ain't go to a Braves game. I went to the Battery when they were having the game. I didn't go to the game though. I went to a minor league game in Virginia, in West Virginia. Where else did I go to a minor league game? Oh, and Chattanooga too, the Lookouts. And they got a new stadium as well. And new stadium looks really nice. I'm gonna go out there and film that too. But yeah, and Bronca, that dude Bronca is a moron. If you watch that lawyer dude, Bronca, Branca, if you watch him, he's a moron. Trust me. He is completely an idiot. He's the kind of guy who will go to random people's graduation pictures if they're black and make negative comments. Like, that's what he does. It's a bunch of that too. He's a weirdo. He's a weird person. He has, like, check his phone, there's gonna be something on it. I guarantee you. That's an odd person. It's not even about I disagree with him. It's just that he's weird in general. Like Liberal Hive Mind, I can say I just don't agree with. And I think that if we're going to debate, I want to have him be in person and me in person as well. But I don't think he's weird necessarily. Now, Andrew Branca, on the other hand, is a weirdo. Certifiably weird. Strange. So if you're watching him and listening to what he says, you're not getting stuff from a person with a brain that's functioning properly, in my opinion. 215, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's kind of muffled. Are you on speaker?
Hold on, let me try this. Let me try something. Now, can you hear me?
It's better now.
Okay, so Anthony, about the Karmelo Anthony situation. So basically, you're saying that basically, I understand where you're coming from. Don't put your hands on people, but Karmelo, from what understand from what I've seen, Karmelo Anthony didn't look like he tried to diffuse the situation. It was just more like he had antagonistic behavior. So I don't think that qualifies as self-defense. Actually, not even I think. I don't. It wouldn't seem like it would qualify as self-defense.
Okay, so what did he do that would invalidate self-defense?
Because what he did was when they were telling him to leave, even though, like you said, they're not in charge, when they were telling him to leave the tent because it's our tent, he refused, and now he was antagonizing him. He said, "Put your hands on me if you want to. Hit me if you want to." Like, he didn't try to walk away or diffuse the situation. Now, there's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself. That's fine. I'm not against anybody standing up for themselves, but stabbing somebody in the heart, that's extreme. And I understand you can't dictate the outcome of what somebody does and whatnot, but the way I look at it is they could have fought, lose a fight, win a fight, don't matter, you lose a fight another day, but you stab somebody in the heart, that person lost their life, and now it's like you're facing life in prison.
Okay, so how could he have diffused the situation? Like, what is diffusing it look like in this scenario?
He could have walked away from this situation, just left.
So hold on. So diffusing it means I allow you to bully me, right?
Now, like I said before, there's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself. I'm not against people standing up for themselves, but that's just what they're going to say. They're going to say you could have diffused the situation walking away. Now,
hold on. I'm asking though. So does diffusing mean I allow you to bully me? It's yes or no?
No. Don't let nobody bully you.
So if you say when they're telling me to leave, which they had no authority to do, and then I leave, I've allowed them to bully me. So that's. Are we on the same page?
I get where you're coming from, but check this out. But here's the thing, though. I mean, he could have squabbled up. He could have used his hands. He could have squabbled up with his hands. He could have like fought one of the guys, or possibly he probably would have got jumped. But which I wouldn't advocate for somebody to get jumped either. But the thing is, it would have been better than stabbing somebody in the chest. Or what he could have did was just the second he could have pulled the knife out, showed that he had a knife, say next time somebody touched me while he openly has a knife. And now if somebody tried to attack him while he had a knife and they got stabbed, I'm just going to be like, hey. But if he had reached in his bag, pulled the knife out, and just stabbed somebody, that's where I'm like, well, that's a sticky situation.
Well, hey, like I say, the best way to avoid these kind of confrontations is to keep your hands to yourself.
Leave people alone.
Leave people alone, because you never know how they're going to react, because people can say that it was over the top or whatever, and that can be argued in court. But at the end of the day, he's dead now because he refused to listen to somebody who said, "Don't touch me." That's his fault. You can't do something to somebody that they told you not to do after repeated warnings and then claim to be the victim.
I get where you're coming from, but it's like I wouldn't really look at it as bullying. I get where you're coming from, but that's not really bullying. It's more of like you're not. I guess they're saying, and from what I've heard, have you heard this part of the story? They said they've told him multiple times, not even told him, they probably asked him a few times, and they said it was at least 15 times, and then they said it escalated to the point where it was like they got tired of telling him over and over again.
Okay,
so then they had to get a little aggressive.
No. That's not the way that works. You can't do that. That's not right. Like, if I tell you no, you have no authority to do anything to me, period. If you want me to move that badly, what you do at that point is get an authority figure. You get a coach or a teacher or somebody like that. You don't put your hands on me. No, I told you no. You got to respect my wishes. Go get a teacher. Go get a coach. Let me ask you a question. If you get on a plane and there's someone in your seat, you sit at 11B. On your phone, there's a ticket. On your app, you have it. It says 11B. You get to your seat. Somebody's right there. You ask them politely, "Hey, I think I'm on 11B. I think you're in the wrong seat." And they say, "No, I'm on 11B." You show them the ticket. It says 11B. They refuse to get up. Do you think it's okay to put your hands on them?
See, me personally, I'm gonna tell you right now. Here's how I'm gonna answer, and I'm gonna just speak for me. Me personally, I'm gonna tell them, no, I'm not gonna put my hands on them. I'm gonna call and tell staff, because I'm not trying to get kicked off a plane because somebody want to be an a-hole or want to be a tough guy or feel like he has a point to prove. I'm just go tell staff, let staff handle the issue, and let them handle it from there. Or if they want to move me to another seat, but most likely I'm gonna let the staff handle it because I'm not gonna take matters in my own hands and get kicked off a plane and catch a felony because I got into a fight with somebody.
Exactly. So why would that same principle not apply to the bleachers? What's the difference?
Well, the big difference is, the one difference is they're outside. And two, the reason why they're not looking at it as self-defense is because Karmelo Anthony, after he stabbed him, he ran away. So automatically that looks like guilt.
No.
That looks like
no. He just left it. He left that particular area, but he didn't leave the actual place. He went up to a coach and stayed with the coach.
Yeah.
So let's get that straight. But it doesn't make it. What I'm saying is, it's the same situation. There's no difference because there's someone somewhere you think they shouldn't be. In order for you to get them out of that place, you could not put your hands on them. And you said the reason why you wouldn't do it is because you get into a fight, catch a felony. Exactly. And that'd be you starting it. They wouldn't be at fault. You'd be at fault because you put your hands on them first. They're just sitting down. They're in the wrong seat. Okay, you get somebody else to come handle that for you. You don't put your hands on them. That same thing should apply to somebody anywhere, a movie theater, bleachers, anywhere. You don't touch people who you think are in the wrong place.
Now, but check it. But here's the thing, Anthony. I understand where you're coming from, but if Karmelo Anthony, say if like instead of using a knife, he just punched one of them. Now, this is unrealistic. Most people wouldn't do it. But say if like the second the guy put his hands on him, he punched the dude, the blue punch. Like I said earlier, Karmelo Anthony could have pulled out the knife and not stabbed nobody, and 9 times out of 10 they would have backed off, and he wouldn't be in the situation he is now.
Well, I mean,
you understand where I'm coming from?
Like I said, you can't dictate how somebody responds. All you could do is dictate your behavior.
That is true.
If you put your hands on somebody, I was told this when I was young, real young. Like I'm talking about 2-3 years old, real young. If you put your hands on somebody, be prepared for whatever happens next. Now you open the door. Now you open the door.
Yeah.
If you minding your business or you just using your words and someone attacks you, you defend yourself. But if you attack the other person, they're going to defend themselves, and you have no way of being able to predict or control how they're going to respond. So the best way to avoid that is keep your hands to yourself, period. You got a problem, call an authority figure. Don't try to be the boss yourself, because you see what happened. You can you talk about Karmelo, where he's at right now, okay, but where is Austin at? It don't matter if Karmelo go to jail, Austin's still going to be dead.
Yeah. Honestly, both parties could have probably did their part to defuse, like you said, Austin could have kept his hands to himself. But with Karmelo Anthony, it's like he wasn't supposed to have a knife on school grounds to begin with anyway. So the prosecutors are going to look at that like already you're in the wrong.
Well, there's a rule that says you cannot have a weapon on school grounds, but the knife he had was street legal. So some like there's a thing talking about it's a felony. No, it's not a felony. It's not. It's just it's a street legal knife. If he was to be caught with that on a school ground, he might get written up, but it wouldn't be a crime.
Okay, so he might get written up in school, but it wouldn't be the actual crime.
Right. Yeah, because it's a street legal. It's a pocket knife. It's like it's below 5 inches.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, I want to see how this plays out in court. But thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good night.
Same to you. All right, let's go to the next call here. Let's go 718 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi there, is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Hello, sir. Thank you for taking my call. This is Samuel Ride that was leaving those messages there.
Okay, hold on. First of all, turn the background off for me. Turn the stream off for me.
No problem. And let me turn off Bluetooth. Yes, I'm here.
All right, man. So what's going on?
Okay, so first of all, what I want to say is I didn't call to have a shouting match, and I'm asking everyone in your stream, don't be that person to unsubscribe because you find yourself disagreeing with ABL the first time, because this is the first time I'm disagreeing with you. I've been following you for years. I've chatted for years. I've been in and out of your chat for years, here and there, not not super religiously, but not infrequently, right? So I'm calling as a friend, and I'm calling to, even if we disagree, you still got my respect because of all the other stuff and your general mentality, right? So with that said, now that you know where I'm coming from, I feel you may not have the full set of information as of Friday afternoon, 5 p.m., right? And that's where I put everything in the chat. And I think maybe you weren't able to read everything I put in the chat because it's all coming through. So let's talk about it here. I heard what you said earlier, please go ahead and interrupt me if you have to, right? But what was found out is that Karmelo Anthony went in there into like someone else's locker room, right? That's the tent is like the locker room, right? People's stuff are there. It's out in the open. It's inside and out. You don't want strangers lurking around because your stuff is there, wallets, cell phones, all that stuff, while they're track meets and stuff, right? So they didn't want him in there. They asked him to leave. Girls and boys, right? They asked him to leave several times, and he was antagonizing and insulting people there, right? He was there to be a pest and to pick a fight.
So what did he say?
So
Wait a minute. So what did he say that was antagonizing and insulting? You said he was antagonizing people and insulting them. What did he say?
He from what I was reading, other witnesses were saying that he was making snarky comments at people, like trying to be a pest over there, right?
What did he say specifically?
I can't say it word for word.
Okay, so we don't know what he said.
I mean, I can't say it word for word because remember, people are reporting what we don't have a minute play-by-play minute from the court case. We have snippets of what people are reporting, right? So several people were asking him to leave, Karmelo Anthony, and he was there. He was saying, no, make me leave. I'm not leaving. Make me leave, to everyone. When he said make me leave to Metcalf, that wasn't the first time he said make me leave. You're going to have to make me leave. You're going to have to move me, right? So, Metcalf, being the team captain, he took it upon himself to say, hey, you got to go. We had enough. You got to go, right? And he said to Anthony, he said, you're going to have to move me. You're going to have to make me leave. So he said to Anthony verbatim, this I do know verbatim because this came out heavily. He said, I'm not going to pick a fight with you at a track meet, bro. You got to go, right? And that's when he put his hand on his shoulder, and that's when the shit hit the fan. So I'm trying to put these details, take what I'm saying in general and go ahead and read about it. And you can update us when you have
so why,
the full set of facts.
So do you think it's okay for Austin Metcalf to touch Karmelo Anthony?
Given the circumstances, when you're acting like an asshole, right?
You can't cuss.
And
you can't cuss on the show.
For no reason, when you're acting like an asshole.
Hold on, caller. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
You can't curse on the show now.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Yes, you're right about
that. So continue.
When you're acting like a jerk, when you're acting like a jerk, given the situation, when you're acting like a jerk, right? I apologize for the cursing. You're right. You did have a non-cursing. I forgot it for a second. When you're acting like a jerk, given the circumstances, if you're going to get pushed out of the tent, that doesn't equate to murder. If
my question was, is it okay for Austin Metcalf to put his hands on Karmelo Anthony?
If you're acting like a jerk, that's also kind of street justice.
Yes or no? I need you to answer, please.
It's no more appropriate than what Anthony was doing.
Why not? Why can't you answer the question directly?
I mean, I'm asking it, right? So
the question is, I'm asking one more time, and if you could give me yes or no, and I want a yes or no. Do you think it's okay for Austin Metcalf to put his hands on Karmelo Anthony? Yes or no? Please answer.
In general, it depends on the
yes
situation.
Yes or no? Please answer.
In general, no. Right?
The question was not. I didn't need anything else. So you say no, it's not okay. So you agree with me. So where's the disagreement?
The disagreement is what happened in totality, right? You can't put your hands on someone else, but then you also can't expect to be treated like a friend and be welcomed inside a tent when you're acting like a jerk with everybody.
Okay, so
right?
you know, it's a solution, because if you think that somebody shouldn't be there, they're being a jerk, they're being whatever, what you should do is go get an authority figure, a coach, a teacher, and have them handle it. Because really, Austin Metcalf has no authority to kick anybody out of a tent. He doesn't own the tent. It's not his tent. It doesn't belong to him. It's not his. It's not his house. It's not anything like that. It's not a private area. It's not a bathroom. It's not a locker room. It's a tent on the bleachers when it's raining.
I mean,
wait. At that point, Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony are the same. They're equal. None better than the other. None worse than the other. If there's a conflict, there's a disagreement.
Well,
one side cannot just say, I'm going to attack the other side because what I'm trying to tell this person they're not receiving. What you got to do is go to a higher power, a higher authority, and have them handle it. That's the appropriate way to do it. When you don't do things right, bad things can happen, which is what happened right here.
Okay, right. Bad things can happen. And remember, they're 17 years old. They make mistakes at 17. Maybe if Metcalf made that mistake to not put his hands on it, he should have been smarter and go get that authority figure, like you said, because you're right in that situation. Maybe he shouldn't have paid for it with his life.
Well, I mean, hey, it's unfortunate that happened, and rest in peace to him. But you can't dictate the outcome of your bad action. That's just not the way it works. If you make a bad action, if you do something bad, if you do something wrong, we can sit here and talk about how the reaction was over the top and it was too much, but you can't dictate the reaction to a bad action.
Right, and not to get circular about it. Right, what I'm gonna add to this is there's the concept of provocation. Right, if we can talk that there's sufficient evidence to show that there's provocation here on Karmelo Anthony's fault, which it seems like there is, the push or not, right? That didn't dictate, that didn't necessitate a fatal reaction, right? So the self-defense thing goes out the window because of the provocation factor. He was provoking everybody there, and there's sufficient witnesses for this. So
if I'm sitting down on the bleachers under the canopy in the rain talking to a friend of mine, and then I'm approached by somebody who's telling me to leave and I have no authority to leave, how am I provoking anybody? I'm not in my business.
Well, he's not just talking to a friend of his. He's making fun of people. He's throwing comments at everyone.
I mean, but you don't even know what was said. So we're just talking at this point. We don't really know what was said. All that we do know is that there was excuse me,
word by word. But
you don't know what was said. Excuse me. All we know right now is that there was a argument over the tent, him being there or not. He was talking. He said this. We don't know that. All we know is that there was an argument over the tent. That's what we do know. That's what we can say that for sure. But at the end of the day, what was happening was he was sitting there and he was approached by Austin Metcalf. That's the provocation. Right. Some people think the provocation was Karmelo Anthony being there. That's not true. The provocation was Austin Metcalf approaching them, telling them to get out with no authority to, and then putting his hands on them. That's the provocation.
Well, no, because Metcalf didn't kill Karmelo Anthony, right? It was the other way around.
I say provocation. Right? So the provocation is one thing.
Both of them provoked each other.
No.
Right?
No. If I'm sitting there under the tent and here you come talking to me, telling me to leave and you have no authority to leave, and you put your hands on me, how are you going to say I provoked you? I didn't provoke you. You provoked me because you come up to me. Wait. Because you came to me. You came talking to me. You giving out orders you have no power to be able to enforce. You putting your hands on me and you have no right or authority to do so. You are the one provoking, not me.
I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm agreeing with you where I can. I really am.
I mean, look, we don't have to agree, and that's okay. We can think differently on this, and it's totally fine. It's all right.
I would say try to picture the situation over a 10-minute period where the whole team, like, not just the football team.
It was 4 minutes.
The track, women, women, like there were girls there were boys there were football players there, all that stuff, and they were asking him to leave, and he said, "No, I'm not leaving. No, I'm not leaving."
They have no power to do that.
Right? Do you think multiple people?
Do you think they have the power to just make him leave? Do you think that?
I mean, if that's not provocation, I don't know what is. If
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
picking a
no.
fight, I don't know what
My question was very clear. Do you think that the students have the power to make Karmelo Anthony leave the tent?
Yes, they do.
But they don't. Like I said,
They do because they can go to the authority, like you said.
That's not them having the power. That's the authority figure having the power, right?
I mean, yeah, they're invoking the authority. They're invoking the rules.
They don't have the power themselves to do that. Just like Karmelo doesn't have the power to go to a tent and then say, "Hey, you guys got to leave." Carmelo's just sitting there. You got to go get somebody. You got to go get somebody and then have them move him. You can't do it yourself. You can ask, sure, ask whatever you want, but he can say no. When he says no, you can't then put your hands on him and physically move him out of the tent. You can't do that. But I don't want to keep going. I don't want to keep going back and forth. I have another call I want to get to. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
I understand. But I'm just gonna say. He said, "I'm not gonna pick a fight with you, bro," and I think that says it all. That's what Metcalf said. I'm not gonna pick a fight with you, bro. That I know was said. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm still going to be in the chat. I'm still going to agree with you where I disagree.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Shout out to the callers. I appreciate you guys calling in rather than being keyboard warriors. 501, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Robert.
All right, man. What's going on?
Not too much. I'm not going to get too much into that Karmelo Anthony thing. The only thing I'm going to say is, actually I'm going to ask, has the videos that only the media and everybody else could see through an Information Act release, has that information been posted to the public?
I've not seen it yet, if it has, so I don't think so.
Has any video been posted on this?
I've not seen any video.
And until I see video, I really don't have too much of a point in who's at fault or whose side and all that other stuff. But if you look at the Texas Penal Code, Chapter 46, it states that having weapons on school grounds, and you said that the knife was a 3-inch blade, but in Texas, the law is 5.5 inches. It could be a third-degree felony with up to 2 to 20 years in prison, and also a $10,000 fine. But with minors, it's just straight up a felony because they're not allowed to have weapons on campus or any space of the school grounds whatsoever.
Well, a knife would not be a felony. If it was a knife longer than 5.5, it'd be a misdemeanor.
I'm just reading what it said on the Texas Penal.
Well, I read it, but it's misdemeanor. Anything beyond 5.5, misdemeanor. Anything below 5.5 is not even a crime because it's not illegal.
It said for any minor.
You said what now?
It said for any minor. They're not supposed to have any weapons.
I know what you're saying, but it's a prohibition on weapons on school grounds, but it's not a felony or a crime. If it's below 3.5, it's not a crime, but it's still prohibited. So you would get written up for it if you had it on school grounds, like a pocket knife, but it's not a felony. It's misdemeanor if you got 5.5 or more. That's called that's what it is.
I think I'm a tad bit older than you. I was born in '81, so I went to school in the '80s and '90s. I mean, I grew up in Little Rock, back when all the gang banging in Little Rock stuff was happening. And I remember one time at my middle school, there was a big blood and Crip fight, and they were just fighting. And it was maybe about 30 people fighting. But nobody got stabbed or nobody got shot. They were just out there fighting. At any point in time, did you, when you were a kid, did you carry a knife with you? Because I didn't when I was a kid.
Well, when I was a kid, I don't think so. I don't think I had a knife when I was a kid, carrying it around. I don't think so. But, I mean, now I do because I use it. I use it as a utility. It's not like a weapon. I don't carry it as a weapon. I got a bunch of knives. That I
But you
just
got a
use.
multi-tool, right? Or is it just a straight up knife?
I got straight up knives. I got one right here in my desk. Like this one right here. I got straight up knives, like pocket knives. I have a multi-tool as well, like a real small one. But most of my knives are just regular knives, regular pocket knives. But I carry them, but not to be a weapon. I got something else to be a weapon, but not my knives.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got something I would consider my weapon. Yeah. So with the California voting, like I think I talked about this on Wednesday. So did you see that the voting? So in LA, the count moved for Bass and the other Rama or whatever her name is, but Pratt got literally 0 votes within that time frame. Not one vote.
Not surprising at
So
all.
He stayed at 86,000, while Nikki Rama, she moved up like 7,000 votes, and Karen Bass moved up like 12. But he got 0.
That's not surprising at all because it's California. You know, you expect a certain level of corruption to happen.
Yeah, supposedly the justice system is investigating what's going on out there. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be extremely tough for him to even get into second place, because I think they're gonna cheat, and they're gonna steal it away. Because like even with Steve Hilton, he was in first the entire time, and now he moved to second.
Well, we're gonna see. Hopefully, there's still some integrity left in California with the elections. So hopefully, it doesn't play out the way it's looking.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, that's all I had to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go to. I had one, but it kind of hung up. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate you for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. 859, you're live speaker 2.
All right. I'm just taking myself a little coffee break and smoking and toking. How's it going, ABL? I've been working hard today.
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I'm just listening to the podcast, relaxing. Is it Jesse? What's that guy, Jesse, that YouTuber, man? Like, why are you bringing your private business out to the freaking world, dude? Like, I make content on YouTube as well, but nobody knows my personal business like that. Like, every time I have a surgery or every time I have to take my son out to the park, do I broadcast that? That's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I'm not quite sure why they decided to do that, but hey, people just do things.
I have a son who has problems, but I don't pronounce it to the world and then do something like that. And I'm very pro-choice, man. I mean, we have disagreements on that, but again, any surgery or anything I have to go for, why do I need to announce it to the world? That's the one thing I do not understand about social media and social media culture, that they have to live their life 24/7 on the camera. That is weird. And I've seen videos of Gypsy Rose tearing up a blanket off of her new relationship. And I'm like, well, why post that? If you're having a meltdown, why do that?
Hey, I can't understand it.
I just don't get it. It's disgusting, and it ruins the argument from people who are like me, who like safe, legal, and rare. And it's supposed to be private. When people who are these crazy weirdo leftists say, "Oh, shout your abortion," I'm like, "No, stop! Don't, stop!" It's like bragging about that you had a golden coxcovy. Like, I don't want to hear anybody about my bowels, man. That's weird. But the one thing I'm kind of disappointed at that Sean Strickland's not going to the White House UFC fight. If it's threads and circuses that if our leaders are giving us, come on, can we have some entertaining stuff, man? So what? He talked bad about another country. It's another country. It's freedom of speech.
Well, I mean, at a certain point, it's just going to be people there who they think will add to it and will not detract from it. And if he is more of a detraction than an addition, then there's no need to have him, because everybody can't go to the event. I would love to go, but I did not get an invite, so he's not anything special.
Well, I just think he's the most MAGA UFC fighter in the world. I mean, granted, I don't agree with Sean Strickland and everything, but man, he's more outspoken. He's going to say what he's going to say, and he's not anti-Semitic. ABL. He just doesn't like government in general. I'm Jewish myself. My ancestors came from Israel. I just don't like their government. People can't differentiation, and there's some anti-Semitics online who say, "Oh, the Jews own everything." No, it's not the Jews. It's lobbyists. I'm tired when they confuse race between another country. My issue is with a government, not a people that is my people, and it's the craziness that they seeing on social media, man. You know.
Well, hey, maybe he'll be able to go to something else if he can just act right. I don't know. We'll see.
Ah, man, I think he can do it, man. But you know what? I think he would just take over the competition, brother. I'll talk to you later, man. Much love to you, ABL.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
I'm going to go ahead and do the blinker 420 and tell the chat what up, homies. See ya.
All right, now. All right. Great call. Shout out to him. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate him for the call. And I got a little bit of time. It's always 11:30. I'll be on a long time. But the number to call. Okay, we got one more. 310. You don't know who I'm speaking to.
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I'm doing better today. Man, you got it's pretty active today, huh? Man, everybody want to talk about, what's the proper way to behave, and you said it, and it is law that you don't have the right to touch anybody. They can say all they want to say. They can jump up and down and everything like that. But as soon as they put your hands on you, you cross the line. And like you said, you don't have no response on how somebody else may react to your action. And like thing said, it said for every action is a reaction. And you don't know how I may react or somebody else react. And that's why myself personally, when I'm out and about, I'm careful about what I do. I make sure that, like even when I'm shopping in a shopping cart, I got my space. And people be looking at me kind of funny because I put my arm out as a bumper because I don't want you bumping into me in my face. And it's like a bumper. And I say, excuse me as I'm coming through or whatever. My arm out. If I see, these young folks who are just glued to their phones and not paying attention, as a bumper. But I'm not trying to touch them. When I'm talking to people, I'm talking to them, and I'm not touching on them. The law says you can't touch that. That's an assault. They consider that as assault. When you touch somebody, you assaulted them by touching them. And, it may not have been, for myself, is concerned, that's not the proper escalation of things. If he touch you, you touch him back. Don't mean that you had to cause him his life in that regard. But if he came at you with a knife, and you have one, knife versus knife, that's compelling force. But you know what? If you want to come the winner of that, knife versus gun is a better force. You know what I'm saying? You either get back, Jack, or get down to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So, people need to understand that. But unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that the state of our, these people today, their mindset, the disrespect of our people today. I mean, all people. I'm not talking about blacks. I'm just talking about everybody because nobody has no decorum, no sense of respect. They don't respect their elders. They don't respect the police. They don't respect the president. They have no respect up there. They don't even respect God, unfortunately. And that's the thing about it. That's even the greatest of great. And that's why, we as Americans, like I said, the president trying to dedicate the country back to God. You know what? I looked at what he's doing of beautifying Washington, D.C. He's doing an excellent job in doing that. The people mindset is being corrected from that. So many people enjoying the space. How is it now that with so much hate for this president, but yet he's doing a wonderful job for the people, and the people said, I like what I see. I'm just mad that he's doing it. See what I'm saying? People are demented with that. The people that's on the left, let's say, but he's doing a wonderful job and giving us quality work. Things have been non-functioning for 20 years, and I think that's a reflection of the decay of our country. You see the decay of our nation, of the nation capital in decay through all these other presidents. Obama trying to fix things up. What he leave us? More crap in the pond, scum pond, because he was a scum while he was being a president. What did Biden do? Nathan, he didn't do a darn thing. Let graffiti stand. Fountain still broke. Bums all over the place. Didn't do nothing. It was okay. Trump, I'm going to clean this stuff up. He just said he went out and did it. Got the crime off the streets. Got the graffiti off the way. 5-10 trucks full of litter coming out the pond and everything like that. All these places, and now they're rejuvenating, and what the people are rejoicing. They're glad to see that they're coming back. This is the evidence of a can-do attitude. If we in America all came together and just said that we're just going to just do right, be right, get right, hold people accountable for their actions, this country would be so awesome. So awesome. I look at other countries, and I'm looking at like even South Korea. They got markets and everything like that that people could shop, and there's no vendor in there monitoring the people that's on the honor system. Guess what? They don't steal. I mean, you go in there and go and get bread, and you pay your money going out and put it in there. Honor system. You want to know why? Because those people got honor. Those people have respect. They love their country and they love their countrymen. Same way as in Japan. Same thing. Where we lost honor. We lost respect. We're too busy trying to take and everything. Everybody's just trying to come up, not on their own backs, but on the backs of others. Just taking what I got, stealing what I got, and giving it to themselves and thinking they're doing something. You're not doing nothing. You're not doing nothing. And this is what's so harmful for our country today. People talking about being soft on crime. No, we don't need to be soft on crime. Crime need to be punished. That's what the problem is. They're not being held on account. We're not getting justice. That's not justice. Justice is getting what you deserve. And Christ gives grace. But society need to have justice. We need people being held accountable for this. And that means great or small. The crime ridden of like California doing, those people need to be jailed for what they're doing over there. All the money that's been bled out, that the people had paid their taxes on, been stolen by these NGOs and everything like that. These people need to be held in account. They need to be jailed just like they did in Japan. They caught people that had things that was faulty with their product. The CEO was held in account, put in jail. That's what need to happen here. America, we just need to put ourselves to this warfare, this spiritual warfare that's going on in our country. It is not no joke. It is not no joke. If we, the righteous, the people who call themselves Christians, those who consider themselves to be God-loving, God-fearing, and everything else, if we continue to humble ourselves and pray, we can turn this country around. We truly can, because there's a war going on, and it's greater than the ones that we see naturally. It's spiritually, and it's for real. It's real. And I tell you that there's people praying against our nation. There's people that's infiltrating our nation. There's people that's in power that's trying to destroy our nation. But I won't have it, and I hope you don't either. I know you won't, ABL. I know you're not going to be putting up with this here nonsense. I would love to see you run for something and bring some type of intellect, true intellect. This is what we need today. These people are money grubbing. They're just trying to get up over on us, and I'm not having it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm getting old, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not too old to give my voice, to give my thoughts to young people who need to hear, because they're not getting it from their daddy. They're not getting it from their mama. Their parents are not holding these youths into account. They need to. They need to hold these kids into account. These kids need to really learn to follow what their parents say and then what the elders say. They need to listen because they have no sense of no knowledge at all, and they think they know it all. They got all this knowledge, this knowledge in the palm of their hands, and they're stupid as stupid could be. Can't read, can't write, can't do arithmetic. You know, this is a tragedy. It's a tragedy that's been purposeful did to our nation. This was done to harm our nation. We need to get back to Christ. We need to get back to what the country is founded upon. I love this country. I love the people that's in our country, the people that want to stand up for right, who know right and wrong. I love our country and the men and the women who serving in our country, who giving a true service, a selfless service. We all need to be doing that. But I just love you, brother. I love the people in the chat. I love our country. We all need to be praying for our country. Love your country. Love your family. Love your fellow neighbor. Do what's right. Pray. 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 We're stronger than that. But I love you, brother. I went on a tangent, man. but you get me excited, man. And like I said, the people get me excited. But you know what? There's hope for our country. There's hope for our country, beloved. This truly is. And our president, he just going to keep on moving forward. We got 2.5 years of him to go, and hopefully that we get somebody else who's just as powerful as he continues to move our country forward. Because all the things that he's doing right now is setting us up for our future. People are crying and clamoring about the future. Factories are being built in our nation.
That's right.
We just need to get ourselves prepared for the factories that's coming. So, that's what we need to do, people. I love you, brother. Love you, man. You just take care and enjoy that hamburger tomorrow. Enjoy yourself.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Okay, you too, sir. Bye-bye.
All right, a great call. Shout out to you guys tonight. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody for calling. If you like what you heard tonight, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And one more call for real. Y'all really calling me this much? Okay, one more, then I'm done for real. All right. 843, you're the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, Anthony, this is Tyler. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Just enjoying the show tonight, even though some of the callers disagree. I may slightly disagree, but I think that's a good thing. It shows that people are thinking again and not just, going along to get along. Even if it's your somebody you respect, your pal, your homeboy, whatever it is. Sometimes it's good to disagree.
That's right. And I always tell y'all, it's like, hey, don't take my word for it. Like, do your own research, figure it out for yourself, because my opinion is my opinion. You may agree with me a lot of the time, but not all the time, and that's okay. That's totally fine.
Yeah, and even, I've been rocking with you. I don't know how many years. You were doing gaming channels for a gaming is how I got involved with you. And we just kind of stumbled into this politics thing together. So it feels like we're old friends now after all these years. But, one little minor disagreement here. I'm a stabbing victim myself. And it was kind of a reverse situation. It was, classic banging on the ceiling with the broom to get, the boys upstairs. My son was a year old, and I was, trying to calm down in life, and escalated to me basically fighting 3 people, but they came to my porch, my neighbors. And amongst the melee, me being from the 1980s, I'm thinking it's just going to be fists, like, cool, let's do it. And it ended up with me getting care flighted away. So we all need to watch our actions and learn to keep our hands to ourselves, no matter what the situation, because you never know what someone's capable. No matter if it's right or wrong, you never know what the other person's capable of. It's better just to protect your own life.
Exactly. That's like my chief point is like you cannot tell what somebody's going to do. So I was always taught from a young age, if you're ready to go down that road of putting your hands on somebody, be ready for whatever, anything. I was always told that. So that's just kind of that's my mentality in general.
Yeah, that's that West Virginia way. Like me, it's in the DNA. My mom even used to say, to girls, don't hit a man if you don't expect to be, get hit back. It don't make it right. But everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves.
That's right.
Doesn't matter who it is.
Yep. It don't matter the color. It don't matter the gender. Everybody.
That's it. Yeah. So, like I said, I think, and then also ABL, I'm with you on maybe exploring some other ideas with the channel, because if we just do politics and we stay in this grind, it's like we'll never fix anything.
Yeah.
And there's other things, there's more interesting things in life. And if we just start doing those things, and, whether it's music or arts or history or whatever people like, go do more of that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's good to tune out of the politics and leave it alone a little bit. Because at the end of the day, individually, we can't control anything but our own happiness. And you don't want anybody to take that away, no matter who's in charge. Even if Sleepy Joe gets back in, I'm still going to be happy. I'm still fishing, I'm still, laughing with my family, and my friends. So shout out to you, ABL. And like I said, we just appreciate everything over the years. And even if we disagree with you, like I said, I think that's great. And, nothing but good things to come in the future from ABL, wherever it goes, whichever direction it goes. So my hat's off to you, brother.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, man. I really do.
Yeah. And everybody just remember that, it's good to disagree, and even with your loved ones and your family, but just try and work it out. That's all my advice from a 52-year-old man. So
there it is, man. Great advice. Good words.
All right, brother. Well, keep it up, and everybody have a good evening. Thank you.
Call, man. Appreciate it. All right, great call from Tyler. Fantastic call from Tyler. Okay, y'all blowing my phone up now. Let's go to 941. Your line I'm speaking to.
Hey, Bill. It's Mr. Wills. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Thank you for taking my late call. So I just wanted to try and quickly diffuse the situation. I know you're tired of talking about Karmelo Anthony, but I just have an important thing I just want to say about it is that I think it's not as black and white as people are trying to make it. I feel like it's another point, another situation where they want to divide the country. It's really simply two negatives making another negative. You had two young, silly boys who made silly decisions, and a bad thing happened. So it's really like factually. I look at it the way you do. I'm still kind of on the fence, really, because what we think we know about the facts is still going to come out whenever the case is done. We'll know, but I'm still kind of on the fence. But factually, I'm kind of on your side. But I really think it's just more of a situation that they want to divide us. It's just two negatives that made another negative. And I just want to say also, besides the facts of the case, I feel your frustration because you've given us countless times where you're being very objective. You're not looking at race. It's not anything to do with race. You have given us countless examples of that. So I feel your frustration because people are still trying to accuse you of that when it's obvious you're not doing that. People are just being tribal and picking their side and sticking to it. Just like we say liberals do. They're silly. They're tribal. It's the same thing with conservatives. We have people who are just tribal, and they have smooth brains, and they're just looking at the surface and picking their side, picking their team, and that's what they're doing. We just need to look at the whole situation for what it was. It was two negatives that made another negative. Simple as that. There's nothing else you can do about it. It's done. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Good call. Appreciate you.
All right. You have a good night. Thank you.
All right. Great calls. You guys are fantastic. Really, really encouraging calls. I appreciate that we can have disagreements. We can see things differently or the same or whatever it is and have good conversations. That's what I really like. I really, really enjoy you guys. And I'm gonna give you guys a lot more. Interviews. That's gonna be my main thing. And I asked y'all before. I asked it on the previous. I'm gonna ask it a lot because I'm gonna get a lot of different. If you weren't there the first time I asked it, or if you didn't see my post on the community tab, I want to ask you guys, who do you want to see me interview? I have a list that I'm gonna talk to, and that will be the primary content of this channel. And the other channel, Uncle AB, I'll do that here and there occasionally when I need to. But the main thing I want to do is talk to people, and we'll talk about certain things. And it's going to be in person. In person. Maybe I'll do, and maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to do like a hangout podcast, like with other people on the screen, like this, but with others. But in-person podcast. And I already got people lined up. And street interviews too. That's going to be what I do. And from there, I think we'll be able to get, more from people. Not just a take on a specific topic, but their viewpoint on a lot of different things. So that'll be what I do going forward. Okay. Heather the Great One says, ABL, I can't sleep unless you say, wrap it on up with a bow on top. What happened to that? I missed that. Well, I say it occasionally when I close out my streams, wrap it on up, put the bow on top. I sure do. Lou Valentino, that's my nephew right there. Shout out to Lou Valentino if you're watching, bro. Hey, Lou, I'm proud of you, man. You have an amazing channel. You're doing good. You out there in Texas. Okay, you got your family straight. Keep doing what you're doing, nephew. I'm gonna get you in the interview for sure. Okay. Somebody said, Lou Valentino, you guys said that. The Lego situation. What happened with the Lego situation? I think I saw something about that. So can you brief me on what the Lego situation is, like just quickly? And if you brief me, I might remember more of what I saw. But I think I did see something about that. I just don't know what it was. And we're not having an in-house meetup, Dwayne. We're not doing that. You can see me out there on the road. I've met some of you guys on the street. Shout out to you guys that I met, but I met some of y'all outside. I sure have. And I've always had a good interaction. Anybody I met that has watched my content and seen my content, it's always been a good interaction every single time. You guys are really good people. So I appreciate y'all, even if you don't agree all the time. Talking to you, NKM, I appreciate you, but even if you don't agree. I see you you almost trolling in the chat, but I still appreciate you for supporting. Okay. And that will be a wrap for the calls. Thank you guys for calling in. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the monster keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that'll be a wrap for me. I got a few super chats here. Then I'll read these and read a few of the comments. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Where are we at? Did I get everybody no super chat? Now I gotta go over here and check. Come to Michigan. Okay. Tim Wesley says ABL should do interviews and a few calls with the guests. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm not sure if you were saying this, what I'm about to say right now, but I could have it to where when I do the interviews, it's going to be pre-recorded, but I might be able to do like a live stream with somebody and then bring on calls with them as they're on. I bring on calls. That could be a thing that happens. But I just want to make sure I got all the super chats right quick. And then we'll wrap it on up, put the bow on top. You guys are great. Again, thank you for joining. Y'all know I couldn't do any of this without you. But yeah, people want, like I said before in previous streams, what I've noticed from studying this whole thing, this internet thing for a long time, as of right now, what people are wanting is long form content like this or short form content that's like 2 minutes. The in between for me is not really doing much. I always go viral on them little short clips, and long form does pretty good as well. Long form does the same as it always has, like long form. But the little 10 minutes, the algorithm is not in my favor. They want to, I don't know, they want something different for that. But the little TikTok stuff, I can kill it. But I got to give them what they want, which is interviews and clips from the interviews. Okay. Make sure I got everybody. Dan Vicious says, if you had a street food, what would it be? A street food? I have no idea, bro. And he also says, ABL, do you think KA believed AM was going to unalive him? I don't know. We'll see in the court. Dan also says, shouldn't athletes have to sign the code of conduct forms? Those include prohibitions on weapons. There's no scenario that justifies KA's actions. Okay, is that right? You got to sign something, say you want to bring a weapon to school. Okay. Mr. Wilkes says, one more call, please. I think I got all the calls for tonight. Did I get everybody? Yeah, I got everybody on the super chat. Thank you guys for doing that. Yeah, long forms are interesting. Long forms are very interesting. Joe Rogan, yeah, and other podcasts, but you got to have one interesting guest and ask good questions and have a good conversation. It's got to be a good. It's got to flow. And I love talking to people. If y'all catch me on the street, I'll talk you to death. If I'm on the airplane, hey man, be ready to talk. I ain't that kind of guy. If I'm on the airplane and you talking to me, I'll talk to you the whole flight. I don't care where we're going. We can go from here to LA, 5 hours. I'll talk the whole way. But if you don't talk and you kind of just like want to have your headphones on, I'll leave you be. I ain't gonna bother you. But if you initiate a conversation, if you say something to me, I'll talk you to death. Yeah, I'm that kind of person. So I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy having banter back and forth. I know I like taking calls, obviously, but what I really enjoy is talking in person. Some of y'all that met me, I'll talk to you. We can have we could cut a whole video on GP. HHH says you should do a First Amendment audit. I would never. I would never. Those guys, I hate. I really do. And if that's you, bro, nothing against you, bro. Respectfully, to me, that seems like it's a form of harassment. I see Warren Sapp doing that. It's like he's harassing people. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like going around harassing people. If I'm gonna have an interview with somebody, it's gonna be very respectful, and I'm gonna just let the person kind of vent more, and then from that we have a conversation. But I don't want to stick a camera in your face, and I don't want to harass nobody. That's not what I meant. That's not what I'm into. Okay. Tim says, am I going to go to California for the street interview? I wouldn't mind. I've been to LA. I go over there. If you guys, I know some of you guys then told me you could be a tour guide. Give me to a place where I can set up and talk. I'll most certainly do it. Okay. Let me see. Did I get everybody here? Heather says, ABL, if they want short form, they can leave in the middle. I wish it worked like that, Heather. I wish it did, but it doesn't. They want to see quick men. They want to doom scroll. They want to doom scroll. Keep the 4 hour content. I'll keep the long form content. I'll keep the long. What I'm gonna have mostly, you guys have been noticing, I don't really put up a lot of the 10-minute videos because they're just not really. People want stuff like this, or they want them little bite-sized chunks. And the name of the game, from the perspective of social media company, what they want to do is keep you on your phone or your device for as long as possible by watching a long form video like this, or by scrolling every day. So when you're scrolling on your phone, you're doom scrolling. Whenever you open up Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, you want to get a whole new batch of videos for as long as you're scrolling. So they want us to feed that machine to put out 10 of them a day, so you can see the equivalent of 3 to 4 regular videos, or like 2 regular videos. If you're watching a minute video and 10 of them in a day, that's the equivalent of 1 10-minute video. And then plus a long form video when you are working or you about to go to bed or something like that. That's the name of the game. Okay. I'm talking for a long time right now. I'm talking you to death. Joe Rogan is a great conversationalist. He's great at flow. But I think I'm also good at flow. I've been like that. I was a salesman, basically, doing my graphic design thing, because that's what you had to do, is go kind of charm people and convince them that they needed this particular thing. So I've been doing this for a very long time. Okay. Jennifer says, UTC, ask what is a square foot of 27 and such. These are so funny. I see some. I might do some of those too. But I don't know if I want to do that exact thing. I might do some of those. But what I want to do really is get introspective and ask different kind of questions. Like, you ever seen that the video, the subweight takes guy? Yeah, let me do that, but just in other parts of the country. But maybe occasional, what's the Squirtle 27? How do you spell elephant? I don't know. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. It's way past my bedtime. It's almost midnight Eastern time. We've been on for a while, almost 4 hours. I appreciate y'all for being here. Look out for the new content. If you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, please email me, contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you have anybody you want me to interview, go to the community tab and you can see my post where it says, who should I interview? Leave your suggestion. I do read everything. I do read your emails, and I get your physical mails on my P.O. box. My email address, similar to all that is on my website. Also, this is a audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I shall pop right on up. Alrighty, that'll be a wrap for me. You guys are great, but until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.